In fact, a tournament of Tabletop Simulator that we have going on here today. We are live. Normally we would say where we're live from, so I'm live from my underpants, and I'm joined by my co-host and stream commentator, James Powell. Hi, James. How are you? Oh, I'm not sure if I've got it so that people can hear you. We're going to have to just... I'm going to fix that now. That seems to be something I've not done straight away. So let me get that sorted. Hello, James. How are you?
Yeah, really good, thank you.
Nailed it. Nailed it. So yeah, welcome everyone to the show. So welcome to the tournament. In fact, there are I think 22 players in the chat right now. I will put the link to the event. So if anyone wants to check out the different lists that are available. This is obviously done. This is our first time doing this, so it's going to be a bit of a mess. Moon Tyrion, what up? And what's going on? So we've got a very exciting game for you today. One of our games. We might jump to some of the other games as well, but this game you have. I could be the cameraman and everything. So we have an OCR Bone Reaper list. As you can see, it's here deploying. Which is quite exciting. It's got a Catacross, it's got a unit of Death Riders, it's got some Mortek Guard, and it's got two Crawlers. They obviously are Petrifex Elite. The Stonemason, Stonemason, I think it's Bone Shaper? No,
Yeah,
not that.
bone. No, it's the guy on the throne.
Bone, yeah, him. He is the general, so he's got the Godbone armor, so he's got +1 save because Catacross can't have it and doesn't need it. And he is up against Ellis the Menace. So that is who's running this OCR Bone Reaper list? Sorry, James.
Oh, I think I can only see usernames. What was his actual name? Benji. We've got
Yeah,
Benji.
Benji. Big shout out to Benji. And he's up. So he's running the Bone Reapers. We're playing Focal Points. So if you guys have never played Focal Points before, as you can see, these are some virtual reality versions of James's objective markers. They look great, James.
Yeah, it's kind of weird to see a digital version.
Yes. Yeah. and then, and then, he's up against this Runebringer Warband. So this is a Slaves to Darkness army. Here you have a unit of Untamed Beasts. I'm very excited about these. This unit here, they will make a 6-inch move at the start. That unit that you can see of the game. So he's going to use to screen that element of the board and screen out those Mortek. And then he's got these Chaos Chariots going down. And James, we were talking about the Chaos Chariots before, right? They're going to do some wild damage. Do you want to let people know what they do?
Yeah, so basically they're in Slaves to Darkness. They've got Keymark of Slanesh, so they're going to move way faster. They can reroll their runs. They can reroll their charges as long as they're within a hero or a general's aura. And once they charge, they're going to do a whole host of dice based on what they rolled to charge. Every 5 up is a mortal wound. And there's, I can't remember how many chariots. There's six chariots.
Yes. So yeah, they're going to charge. So the big thing here is Ellis has got this. Look at this Karkadrak. Oh my God! Someone's really gone to town on getting the Karkadrak out there. So the Karkadrak has got an extra 2 wounds, but he's very mobile. So turn 1, he's going to give an 18-inch aura out, like you were saying. But this is the little combo. Blue Scribes as an ally, and then Cogs. So Cogs is going to add +2 to their charge and +2 to their run. So all these chariots are going to run. Yeah, they move 12 inches. Once per battle on their War Scroll, it lets them run and charge. So then he's going to, because of the Karkadrak's ability, he's going to re-roll that, add +2 because of the Cogs. So it's going to be going wild. Yeah, which is going to be, so they're going to be going really fast. And then he can re-roll the charges with +2, again, because of the Cogs. So you're looking at statistically a 9. He's going to roll 9 dice. And every 5+ will cause an additional mortal wound, 2+ D3 mortal wounds. So he should, on average, do 5 mortal wounds from each chariot before they attack. So that's what we're setting ourselves up to see here. Very fun army. It's a bit of a one-hit wonder, though, James. A bit like Chumbawamba.
That was a terrible but great song.
It really was. Good morning, everyone watching live. Yes, big shout out to Positive Victim, my man Darren in the chat, List Diaries. We did talk about this list, and he talked about this list on one of the List Diaries shows previously. You know for a fact, James, I'm excited about this, because if anyone's been tuning in live recently to the any of the Stream Shoot shows, there was at least that 15-day period where I couldn't stop talking about movement-based damage. Which was super fun. So we're going to see it here live. Up against them, though, if this is your first experience, is these undead. Oh my god, the models for these are great. Look at that.
Yeah, my favorite bit about it is that some of them are amazing, and then somewhere in the middle there's two 2D catapults, some 2D horses.
Yeah, over there. So the link to the brackets in the chat. This is table 11. If you guys, there are loads of. We did a list review show yesterday. There's loads of other matches. Big shout out to our man Adam running the event. So as you can see here, now drops wise, I'm pretty right in thinking, James, that it's all on Ellis. Ellis gets the choice here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to be very fascinating what he does. These Mortec really quite slow. If we do a bit of a, so they're really going to go. Oh, I've accidentally pressed a button. Sorry, gents. I'm Rob 7 screens today, so I'm having a great time. These units are only going to go 4 inches. So these Mortec units, James, they're only going to go 4 inches forward. Initially,
a nice little waddle.
A little waddle. But it's those crawlers. Those crawlers have a great impact on basically the game here. Because it means that even though the army is quite slow, you can't let them necessarily go first. That said, you're not going to get at the crawlers because there's that big shield wall of dudes in the way. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. What does everyone in the Twitch chat think? James, who are you rooting for? What do you use your money on?
So I want the chariots to win. But just because they're chariots, like, I just like the ridiculousness of the movement-based damage. Yeah, and you know, there's a lot of little 2D chariots that need some love.
Yeah, Hobby Hobo's rooting for. Hobby Hobo's rooting for Bone Reapers. I'm pretty certain. Our Bone Reapers army is
taking each other out.
Is this Australia versus England, by the way? I want some international rivalry going on. So if I can get some Aussies in the chat for anyone who wants the Aussies to win. Look at Catacross here. Now, Catacross is such a cool piece. He's going to steal your command ability. Yeah, that's right. He's going to steal your wife, steal your life. He's just not scared, is he? He's just going to be like, I'm going to have all your command points. Oh, do you want me to do my Catacross voice? First thing in the morning.
Yeah, why not?
I shall steal your command abilities. Ha ha ha!
Did that work?
Yeah.
Was it awful?
A little bit, but you know, we'll live.
Well, I give myself one of those. Don't normally get these on the live stream games, do we? Should we bring the soundboard to the next tournament we cover?
I will probably never get to do another one.
Yeah. Right, so I mean, it's just the off here. Now we have the option of maybe jumping around all the other tables, but honestly, everyone watching live, it's quite complicated for us to do that and do it well. Maybe after today, we'll work out how to do this all better. But this is our first day, so if you're looking for something top tier, I'm sorry about it, but it's our first go. I mean, it's pretty fun. Look at this guy. So Gaunt Summoner here, he's going to summon 10 pink horrors within 9 inches. So he's probably going to do that just here onto the objective, and then he's going to keep that safe. James, do you know how you play focal points? Do you know how the scoring works?
Remind me.
No probs. The one in the centre is worth 2.
Yep.
And all the others are worth 1, unless you join them up, yeah? Like the Trinity Force, just power it up, yeah? And then you get a bonus +1, so it becomes worth 3. Yeah, really simple, easy. It's a great battle plan, to be honest. It's one it tends to be my go-to. But we just, James, you listen out to see who decides who to go first, because that's going to be.
Yeah, I've got voices on. They're just discussing some rules.
Oh, Elfbro says he's heard the didgeridoo call for people needed to be in the chat. Oh, our Skype might have broken. The whole thing might have broken right now.
I can still hear you.
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if it's going to work particularly well. Because I'm doing like 9 things, but we'll see. Saurus Knight, thanks for subscribing. Oh, I should put some stream stuff up. Some Streamlabs. Need to get on that on the overlay. I'll just sort that out. You carry on, James.
Okay, so we're just kind of watching the final bit of setup. All of the Chaos units are down. There's just 2 endless spells in reserve. And I think we are waiting for these Death Riders. That's what I want to call them. To just be deployed as the last unit, and then the decision will be made. Oh, they've not made the table.
They've what?
They hit the table edge and all fell over.
This is odd. Can I tell you, everyone at home, and James, I don't know about you, I woke up this morning with that excitement that you only get on Tourney days. Yeah, it's the reason is I was like, oh, I wonder what I'm gonna get for breakfast. We're gonna have like a cob, or like when you have that really stodgy Tourney breakfast. Normally, because you're in a hotel and you expect a full English or something.
Yeah.
And I didn't get that. I just had some muesli. But the Kavalos Death Rider's going down.
Part of my fun today is just going to be watching like people drop models, throw models. I mean, could flip the table.
How does it feel covering games again? It feels exciting. We were hanging out with Adam beforehand, and we were doing that thing that we do, and a whole bunch of guys in the chat. I know Darren's here. I know that Owen is playing at this event, and a bunch of you other guys as well. But Studio Worstwood, yeah, fuck yeah, my man Benjamin. That excitement you get just before, where you're picking a game, or you're seeing a really cool list, like Ellis's list here. And no offense, obviously, to Benji in this situation. His list is also cool. But they honestly should still sell Benji's list as like the start collecting box for OC Bone Reapers. Because this is, James, loads of people think that this list is I don't know what people tough. But I feel like this is one of the most fantasy armies you can get. Look at this. There's a cavalry unit. Yeah. There's just infantry. There's a big hero. There's some catapults. There's a wizard. It's it couldn't be more standard fantasy that I think of ever personally. But I'm excited about doing the coverage. Is how I feel. When we were talking about the list at the start, I was hype as shit. So let's just give you guys this look again. So just so you guys can see what we've got going on. Let's just.
I think.
Oh, here we go. So this unit's going to make a pre-game move. That's going to move 6 inches. Yeah, give you that classic view. These Mortek Guard are only moving 4 inches here and here, so they're not going to go particularly far. These chariots, though, they move base 12, so they're going to hit that line. They run, yeah, and they can re-roll that run, and cogs, so potentially can get to here, 8 inches, and then they can charge 2d6, but they can add +2 to it with a re-roll because of the Karkadrak aura. So these chariots could potentially get to there and get through here straight into the crawlers. Problem is you're going to want... Go on, what's happening?
It's right. So the slaves have gone first. He's rolled a 5, which you can see on his board. And summon cogs.
Oh, so he's going first?
Yeah. He's gone first. He's summoned cogs right
Ellis...
next to the blue scribe at the back. And the Gaunt summon is just foregone casting to maybe put 10 pink auras down.
He has. Gents, it's happening. Who's hype about watching these chariots do their thing? Cogs going down right here. So the blue scribes are gonna be. So they've done that automatically on a 2-up, right?
Yeah. So he needed a 2-up. He rolled a 5. Yeah. It's in his little pool. I'm guessing I'm gonna call it a pool for the day.
Yeah. Okay. So as you can see here, sat on 2 command points, and. Can we just talk about look at the avatar that we've got going on? Yeah.
Yeah. There's one side's just like a little picture of a hood. The other side's like a half topless man.
Well, so Ellis has been. You might not have heard tons about Ellis, but Ellis has performed, been at the UK Masters before, with a Ghost Army. It was awful. He also has he plays a lot of Star Wars Legion. He thinks it's a better game. He really likes it, but occasionally he gets dragged back into Age of Sigmar when there's a list that he really likes the look of. This is what we're probably going to see in effect today. He didn't pre-game move his
Untamed Beast.
his Untamed Beast. I wonder if he forgot that. That's a real question. Because these chariots don't fly, so these guys need to move out the way. We talked a little bit about the command trait that is on the Gaunt Summoner, didn't we, James?
Oh, he's using Mask of Darkness, which is cast here. Sorry.
Oh, okay. So and who's he using it on?
I think he's used it on one of the chariots. I think he pointed at the chariot that's just in front of the Karkadrak.
So Mask of Darkness, for everyone at home, is, of course, a teleport. That's what it is. So he's going to be taking a unit wholly within X and then teleporting it 9 inches away. It would make sense if he does it on the Karkadrak, because his aura, to give him the aura range, so you could just drop him 9 inches away. Otherwise, he might struggle to go up. That would be a good plan.
He's okay, so he's got 18 inches at the minute, hasn't he? Because he's got the crown on. Can't think of its full name. He's got the crown, so he should have his aura only within 18.
Yeah, but it would make sense to take the Karkadrak here, put it here, then his 18-inch aura is going to be there for the charges and the rerolls. But
yeah,
putting cogs down
makes him in the middle.
Yeah, but putting cogs down makes me think he's going to commit turn 1, but not moving the Untamed Beast makes me think he's not. Wargaming Dad says Ellis is the current Star Wars Legion Tabletop Simulator League champion, so knows what he is doing. There you go. And also, Hobby Hobo says Benji's on the Coach Discord. Oh, Kels, thanks for subscribing. So he's all about Team Spunk Nuggets. Congratulations. Hey, Shinobi-Wan. Thanks, everyone, for joining us live, wherever you join us from. Let us know. The lists are available. I will do the Nightbot thing, so you can just check out the lists. But there's the lists, or the bracket at least, so you can go and check out. There are some other events riding in, and Adam might come up with some updates at some point on what's happening with the other matches. So he's only dropped a chariot. What is he doing, James? What are you thinking? What is he doing?
No idea.
I wish I could get into the mind of this general. Just let me in. Let me in, General. That's what I want. Just let me into your... Oh, no, it's Pink Horrors. Just let me in. What are you thinking? He's like... He's not even facing the right way for a start. It's a disaster.
Just chilling. I also like the fact he summoned those Pink Horrors, and now in his little, minion pool, a load of Blue Horrors and Brimstones are there ready in preparation.
Also, what are these guys doing? This guy's looking that way... The Karkadrak's looking that way. Their focus is everywhere and not on the table, as it should be.
Chat to the Gaunt Summoner, I think.
Yes, and also AOS Atonement Tin. Yeah, Karkadrak. If you'd put there's loads of room back here. It's a really good point. Look at this. Sorry, everyone. I keep pressing the spacebar. I've got too many keyboards at the minute. Although it is easier to do this than controlling 8 cameras while also doing it. There's got a 9-inch gap here. I feel like he could have put a Karkadrak here, tied this up, tied these up. I don't think you want to tie up the Mortek, do you? But he's clearly going to wait. What can they do? What's the real worry? I suppose the crawlers are the real worry turn 1, I guess.
Well, so the best thing he could do with those crawlers is he's still got the 10 Ravagers Marauders in reserve. So if he could fit a 9-inch gap at the back left corner, if you're looking at him, he could very easily kind of charge in and hit, I imagine, one of the catapults, which would stop it being able to fire.
Oh, we're seeing these guys move. So the Untamed Beasts are going forward. Nice. So they didn't pre-game move, which I find very odd. Because if he'd have done that additional 6 inches, he'd be about here at this point. But maybe he's planning on the Mortek hitting his lines and then counter-charging on the next turn. But that is obviously dependent on whether or not... he gets the next turn. There's a really interesting kind of tactical thing that you could do here when you're playing this game. Is because, as you can see, or this scenario particularly, as you can see, most of the game happens within this area. So everything else outside of there really is like non-plus. But
Yeah.
if you can make, especially these horde units that are good for scoring, or these larger units, if you can make them engage on the flanks or the wings, as opposed to like effectively the Mortec blocks here, here, and here, they have to operate within this area. So you have all of the space outside of it to fuck around. Truth be told, if you've got the movement. So it's sorry for swearing, by the way. I know when we do live coverage we don't. I just forgot. Because I'm sat in my dungarees. Are you excited talking about gaming again? Are you hype? This is fun.
All the hype. So those pinks having a little jaunt to the middle.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah.
Well, where's he? How have they got there? They can't
They
move.
rolled a what?
They can't move after you're summoned.
Yeah, they can. Yeah.
Can
Because
they?
you summoned in the hero phase, so you can still move. Yeah, it's weird.
Oh. Are you?
Yeah, so anything the Gaunt Summoner summons can move, which was one of the reasons why when I was piddling about with what you took, one of the things that I attempted taking was Demonettes, because you can run them and charge them, so you can teleport them 9 inches away, then run them, then charge them.
That seems abusive. I'm not going to lie to you, that seems very abusive. This is interesting. This is not what I was expecting him to do. I was expecting turn 1 smash.
Yeah.
I was here for the Hulk. It looks like that's not what they.
And I mean, that one chariot's just hiding in a bush.
Yeah, I thought you can't move pinks. I'm gonna go double check that. Like, I'm being serious.
There's no rule. There's honestly no rule that doesn't say it can't move when it's been summoned.
That's bullshit. Because I've not been moving them in my games.
Well, I'm telling you now, you've been ruining yourself. I've got it open. Here you go. Blah, 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 blah. Once per battle at the start of your hero phase, you can say this model will use its Book of Profane Secrets.
No, it's fine. I've read it. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, you can move after. What the shit? That is fucked.
Great, right? That's great.
Yeah. So what is this chariot doing? This isn't what I was expecting. I was expecting everything to go. So don't forget that Ellis got the choice. So he's moving how he wants to move right now. This is his game. Yeah. He's doing this was prepped in his head. This is what he's going to do. He's looking to do mortal wound output, as we've talked about before. He's going to get to reroll once per game, run and charge with each one of them individually. Every time he charges on a 2+, he's going to do D3 mortal wounds because he's in the Runebringer warband. So that's potentially 3D3 mortal wounds going in there. Any charge rolls he makes with these chariots, it looks like he's being very clever, actually. What he's effectively going to try and do is just wipe each unit out so that they can't really score. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So I'm guessing now, so he's bringing his 10 Marauders on as well. There we go. Whoop! That's my call.
10 Marauders. There we go. So do you want to explain to us how this happens?
So Ravage's pre-built in command trait is every turn your general can swap, and each time it swaps, you can use 1 command point to basically bring either a cultist warband, so one of the Warcry warbands, 10 Marauders, or 5 Marauder Horsemen or some Furies on from any kind of board edge. So it has to be 9 inches away, but the strength really here lies in that pre-built charge gimmick on the Marauder's War Scroll. So he's going to roll 2 dice for them to charge. They're going to get +1 because there's a drummer in there, even if there's not, I'm guessing. And the lowest roll becomes a 6. So you're basically guaranteed an 8. So they're always going to be into combat if you get them 9 away, unless you roll a Snake Eyes.
So that's going to lock up these crawlers. So not the best job of screening here. Let's be honest.
There's
There's
just
a lot.
not enough units, is there?
What with
Here we go. Marauders charge.
So we're into the charge phase already. Well, yeah, but you don't need to. You could just take this screen here, use it to screen itself, so you can't drop on, because they've got the range. Same, you could do that here.
12-inch charge.
Oh, that looks. I wonder if that can get both of the crawlers. Which war scroll ability did you say? I have to look up for the teleport move and then charge. I'm not sure. Oh, Morton, you're looking for the Gaunt Summoner. So it's the Gaunt Summoner here. What he did was in the hero phase, he summoned 10 pink horrors. They then, after they've summoned, so wholly within 9, they then moved, and they moved on to the objective. So this is basically 50 wounds holding the center objective now. And then Ravagers. So it's a nice list, right? Like, he's engaged in a lot of places early on, and he's really, really, like, hampered what's to come. Big threat is Catacross, obviously, but he's not going to be there for ages. Well, he's only going to be one model scoring objectives, basically. So, Mathmiller says, I'm just a Silverlet player crying, don't mind me. Hello, everyone. Custodian Sloth. I just assumed you can't move the pinks. I just read the scroll. I guess you can. Yeah, Lee, I did the same. I just assumed you summoned them, and it would just be written in that you couldn't. Yeah, because they've generally got tighter on those rules. But that's
I know what you're on about. It's a great rule. Love it. That's what makes it so strong, I think. They're like, on mine, you can deploy. So I had in my Ravagers list had 3 Gaunts. And so what you could do is deploy them out of threat range because you were never going to go first in a 9-drop. So deploy them at the very far back, out of harm's way. If they took the first turn, then they couldn't kill them. If they give you the first turn, then you just drop 30 pinks, and then they walk forward.
Yeah, I've been running a Host Arcanum list, like moved, and you can do a move D3 unit 6 inches at the start. So I was just like, all right, yes, move my Gaunts, and then drop down my pinks. But now I know I can drop down my pinks and move my pinks. Whole different world.
Yeah.
Oh, so look at that. Look at these guys. If he's done it right, and they can pile in 3 here, and it's not the closest, it looks like the Crawler 1 is the closest, not Crawler 2.
I missed it. He's got +2 to his charge, hasn't he, from Cogs? I'd forgot that.
He has, as did I. But we've got the charges coming on now. So that's a pretty... I wonder what he's been rolling for these charges.
He's rolled a 10 for the chariot charge here.
So that's going to be 10 dice. 10 dice, rolling 5 ups.
Does he get the +2?
Yeah, he does. Well, if his total was 10. So if he rolled a 10, and then that means he will be rolling 12 dice. So he's done... And then on a 2-up, he's going to do D3 mortal wounds. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So 12 dice, any 5-ups a mortal wound, and then a 2-up, an additional D3 mortal wounds. I reckon these chariots are going to wipe that Mortek Guard unit. That's what I think is going to happen.
Oh, 6 dead?
Just from the charge. Oh.
From 1 chariot as well.
This is going to be wild. This is a really great turn from Ellis. 8. So that's going to be 10 dice. So he should do 3 mortal wounds. And then...
rolling them in his like little pool thing at the back, I think, the damage ones.
Yeah. Okay. It's no problem. We'll see it as it comes through. So these Mortek are going to get beat up. The problem is he might have his base is basing. He's also got some decent output as well on these guys. And of course they are immune to battle shock, those Mortek Guard. Like, they don't give a shit about dying. They're like just more bone for the fixers to rebuild our cities.
Yeah.
So as each one of them dies, they're not too stressed. But if they all die, that's going to be bad. But Catacross can put some back into the unit. Oh, we've seen some more go. Oh my god, it's pretty exciting. Okay, I've got to go shopping and listening to audio only, so can you give very descriptive coverage, please? Sure.
The Mortek Guard are getting taken off the board.
Yes. Most specifically, the unit in the top right-hand side. And what's important about this particular matchup is bodies on the board, because both initially, at the outset, the advantage is in the Ossiarch Bone Reapers' hands. They had a big block here, and I said had because they've lost the right hand side now. They've got another 2 units of 20 to score objectives. However, for the Safe Darkness army, they only had these individual ones, so not equaling a lot to score with, and a few characters. But now they've put those 10 pink horrors down. That's basically 50 wounds to score objectives here. Oh, look at that. Oh, there's only 2 left.
One chariot just did 7 mortal wounds.
This is such a great list.
Oh, it's all of them. Is it all of them?
No, there's 1 left. The Hekatos is alive.
I don't know. I don't know if he's. Oh no, he's alive. One little guy.
Yes, you made it. Can we name him,
he's
please?
He's Battle Shark, right?
No. O-Sharp Bone Reapers are immune to Battle Shock, army wide.
Okay.
Another charge. Oh,
Yeah,
it makes the most sense. Yeah, that's it. Just stick them on top of those Death Riders
because
as well.
they're all going to get to fight still yet. They're all still going to get to hit that Bone Reaper, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. They are all going to get to pile in and do that. So it makes sense to try and do some mortal wounds into these Death Riders as well. Also, if you charge the Death Riders, they're better on the charge, as most cavalry are.
He rolled a 12, for his charge.
A 12 for his charge? So
he rolled a 10 plus 2, so 12.
So that's 12 dice. Any 5-ups are going to be a mortal wound, plus on a 2+, D3 mortal wounds. So he's just going to be crushing this. Oh, no, he's only done...
He did 2 mortal wounds plus 3 from the 2-up.
There you go.
So he did 5 mortal wounds in all. So he's killed 1 and one's on 2 wounds.
Now the crawler. So I tell you what's an interesting little fight going on here. You know the they're marauders. I was going to say marauders are okay in a fight actually. They're not going to kill the crawler. They're just going to pin it up. But they might do okay. That's an incredible first turn, right?
Yeah, I mean the Marauders. Oh, hang on. Yeah, he's starting with the Marauders, which is a sensible thing. So when there's 10, he's gonna hit on 3s, wound on 4s. Off the top of my head. But so if he loses 1 Marauder, then he obviously loses the ability to hit on 3s.
Yeah. Fucking great work. Great work from Ellis. Great turn. Really fun. Like Womas says, sales of chariots going up after this. That's a fact.
I mean,
that's a fact.
That's the thing, isn't it? How many chariots?
Interesting thing, these 4 chariots, we have another 4 here.
Yeah, just chilling.
Just chilling, so they can do the same thing. And these guys, like, that ability that they did to do impact hits when they charged isn't once per game. The only once per game ability that the chariots have is the ability to run and charge once, and that's on each individual chariot. So these four may have activated that ability, but these 4 haven't yet. So these guys have still got that same output, and they've got 7 wounds each, 4 up save. What a bastard. He's making me want to buy them. Hey, morning, Scrivo, by the way. It's up early. Morning, Serbator. Fucking love you, bro. How you doing? How's the player?
Is Scrivo here?
Yeah, he is. He's here, yeah.
Then we need a little job from him.
Oh, what do we need doing?
I think our times are wrong because we don't want to talk for 5 hours.
Oh yeah, Scrivo. The times you put up on the site or the page is completely wrong, bro. But I woke up at 6 a.m. Shit. The Chariots list is similar to the one I was going to use at the Bad Moon Cafe one-day tournament, but the lockdown happened. That's lame. So we're going to see some combats now. Now, so Mark of Slaanesh on all of these chariots means that any 6s to hit is going to generate 2 hits. And because they're in the Runebringer warband, any 6s to wound is going to cause an additional mortal wound. And the Great Blades, which each one of the chariots is armed with, has got Rend 1 damage 2. So actually, they could do a little bit more damage than you'd expect.
They can, but I don't think there'll be any auras at the minute. So they only get it done though if they're within 12 inch of a general, of a hero. So the Gaunt Summoner back there, the Blue Scribe back there, or 18 inches of the Carcadrop. But they're going to be out of that. Oh, he's taken 5.
So I've got a question here. I wrote a version of this chariot list before even Aaron did it and sent it to Tom Lyons, and he taught me out of it. Yeah, well, the North American meta is very particular, you have to remember. The Canadian meta is whatever the fuck they want it to be. The Aussie meta is specifically, fuck you, I'll do what I like. The North American meta is like, I don't want to say 6 months behind, that's unfair. It's either 6 months ahead if you build Sousa, or 6 months behind if you're Joe Cryer. So it's kind of like a swing state. Like, does that make sense? Like, they're very spread out. It's like time zones, James. I'm not sure if you're aware. The Kiwi meta, very strong and carriage on heavy. Where else? Swedish mare, they don't care what you think, nor do they want to tell you what they're doing. So they're all very The Irish meta is, oh my god, just basically it's just being scared of little Chris and bullying Archie is the general Irish meta. Have I offended everyone, James?
I think so, probably.
And also the New Zealand meta is also full of all of the people that keep winning the Australian events. Because, James, I don't know if you were aware, but CanCon, world's largest event ever for Age of Sigmar, was won by a New Zealander. And then went to Australia and took the gold off them. And they can't be happy about that, can they?
No. I mean, but, I guess it's important, right? It's important to go and upset people.
Mr. Teej, I can't link the lists, but I can. You can go find them. They're table 11 is what you're currently looking for in that thing. I can eventually do that, or maybe my man Scrivs will do it because he's a fucking legend. But maybe he won't because he hates me today. It all depends. Lockdown's got us all in an interesting place, and I hope you're all well. Getting a piling in here. Are we going to see this, James? What is this one little guy called? This little Mortek legend. Michael the Mortek.
I reckon he looks like a Jeffrey.
What, Harry the Hekatos? Is he going to survive against these cardboard printouts?
Wait, his name's Jeffrey.
I can't get over. I'm watching this guy look at this guy as this horse is eyeballing. You get camera shots that you just can't get when we do it live. I can't lie to you.
Yeah. It's also that weird thing where, like, my favourite is the Mortek crawlers. Like, if you sit at the back of the board and get the camera just right, they just vanish. It's just another, like, a stealth crawler that took a whole wound from the Marauders.
There you go. So the angel that is Scrivo is going to do the lists in the chat for you guys so you can see what's going on. If you're watching us anywhere but Twitch, then you probably can't see them. So they're all being posted in Twitch. So jump on Twitch. Join us, gents, ladies. Right, so, look, we've seen a couple of Marauders die to the Crawler. Crawler's actually quite good in a fight, right? It's taken 1 wound. It's not bad in a fight. It's got 6 attacks, which is pretty scary. And you can also use the command ability for the Petrifex Elite, and you could put it onto the Crawler, give him an extra attack in combat, and rend if you wanted to. I don't know why you would, but you can. Oh, no, you can't give him the extra attack. Oh, you can. Sorry, Catacross has got the extra attack. Just having a conversation with myself. That's fine.
You carry on.
Yeah, it will do. It will do. Look at these little pink horrors. What a bunch of little pink bastards. I love them so much. They make me laugh. They're the most fun models. Look at these guys. Ah! They're all facing backwards.
My favourite. And there's one in there. One with a beak.
Oh, the beak one. Do you like the beaky ones? I like them the least.
Ah, but they're so beaky.
Yeah, they are beaky. That's true. Look at this guy. I like the tongues.
Also, I like the one with the banner. Who's technically holding the banner with like 1 thumb. No trumpet in there either. That's I think the guy with the trumpet looks like he stole it from an Eldar craft world.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's in the back left.
Oh, yeah. What's this? He's nicked. He's gone to the 40k realms and he's come back with a little horn. What the hell?
Pop back. That Mortek guard lived.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
Harry the Hekatos.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he is having the best time. The problem is he can't fall out of combat because if he does, he gets recharged.
Yeah.
The best thing, so Catacross is going to be able to put a number back into that unit, whether or not he's going to do that. Or we've got a battle shock test happening on those Marauders as well. But look at that. The Marauders have been able to hold up both chariots. Both chariots pinned in. So all of that output is gone now. And James, can he bring another unit of Marauders on next turn?
Yeah, so next turn he can bring 10 more on.
Oh my god, this placement of the Crawlers is triggering me at that stage then. The fact that they're just there.
Of what?
Of the Crawlers. So you could use the Crawler to block in itself. So you could just do that, right? And then it's making it so it can't. So you can put it in the corner, and then you can do the same. If you want a really good example of this, if you go look at JP Stevens at Sheffield Slaughter, so you go watch that on the T Sports Network channel. our coverage there. You see that he used his own crawlers to block his own backfield, which is sensible, right? So you can create like a little zone, and they've got really big range, so you could have them so that they're here and here, and then they're controlling that element of the board, and then they're projecting power to like this third of the board, which gives you some good dynamic control, and then you basically can play kind of like a flank game, but really all you're actually doing is battling over the center. But instead, he decided not to do that, and we are where we are now. It's again It's why if you go and watch the video me and Darren did, where we had a long discussion about deployment, having a plan before you get into it is really important. Also, recognizing and identifying your weaknesses for where you want to deploy things is so key. But
there's now 4 little tech guard back.
Say that again.
It's 4 little more tech guard back on those chariots.
So into the hero phase. So what's the score?
Yeah.
We've got 6 points. 6 points going for the Slaves to Darkness in turn 1. They almost killed. Look at that. Even doing all mortal wounds, still didn't kill this fucking Mortec Guard unit.
What are they? Blocks of
20.
Blocks of 20.
Blocks of 20. He's still alive. That's got to be really upsetting. He needed just one more. But Harry the Hecatos, and now they're back to 4. Now, if he gets the next turn, yeah, well, it depends if he loses in the combat phase, but if he gets the next turn, he potentially... look at that, James. You know what I said about scoring and how important it is?
Yeah.
Currently, he's holding this objective by just those 4 models. And we talked about the model usage being really important, and Ellis's decision to go in and take out the blocks, I think, is the right decision. So, but just one of those Death Rider units just piling in is going to mean that he's going to outscore him on that objective. So actually really important there. Also, just shows you how useful those rings are for identifying what's happening, James.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were 4. I think, especially kind of watching a game, even more so than playing, being able to just look at a table, not interrupt, and be like, oh, that's cool, that's what's happening, is super useful too.
Agreed. MD Vaginos, thank you for subscribing, by the way. That's awesome of you. Thank you to everyone who joined us live. If you're doing some hobby like Scrivo in the chat, who is building a Wood Elf Blood Bowl team, let us know how you feel. Do you guys like this army? And look at the commanding position that the fucking OCR Reaper terrain piece has in the board. But it doesn't really have a good target either. Making something -1 to hit? Nah. Making hitting a wizard? Over there? Nah. It doesn't really have much to hit here, which is quite cool. There's low. Will the objective rings be available again, James?
Yes. So we sold a metric ton. So yeah, we've purposefully this time kind of overstocked. So there is some in stock. But so super honest. I'm just trying to make sure that I can get all the orders out. So we had some really good plans on how we were going to, kind of maximize delivery. And then there's a global pandemic. So it's just me in my house, packing rings, organizing post. So yeah, just bear with us. They've sent out all the ones of people who ordered them, because that's what I want to kind of finish first. What we're going to do is put them back up for sale. And we already hold them in stock, so there won't be a wait this time round. But we're going to fulfill all the orders that we have already done first, basically.
Just talking about
Catapult just retreated.
He has retreated, which I think is interesting. And he could have been there earlier on, right? He could have been safe from that happening to him earlier, which I think he would have appreciated. It's going to be interesting what he does, because we could see another 10 Marauders come on this turn, right?
Yeah. I mean,
in Chaos's next turn. Huh?
It can't shoot. He's retreated that Mortec now. It can't shoot. And what he's got is a giant 9-inch gap behind him. There's room for Marauders to deploy and just charge that one again.
Do you know what? I fucking love the OCR Bone Reapers army. I'm going to just say it now. That 3+ save is offensive. It really is. But it plays so stoically like an army. I can't get over it. I can't. Look at this fucking giant like whatever he is. Like, look at him commanding. He's got these guys. He's just like, I am in charge. He looks awesome. And then these tiny little wankers just with their shields up. It's such a good army. But it plays so. I guess some people would describe it as boring. But I guess what I'm trying to say is it plays really trudgingly. What's happened?
Caracross has just charged on a 12 into the poor 3 Marauders.
So in the charge phase already. So it looks like what he's done is created himself a gap here. So he can't get those Marauders. Hopefully can't come in. But don't forget they can do a pretty big charge, especially with cogs up. And interesting. Did he get the other Mortek in? He did.
Yeah, so the Mortek have charged on a 7.
So locking in those Chaos Chariots is going to be important as well. We might see some of those go down. The fact, if he gets the next turn, if this Mortek unit stays alive again, and he gets the next turn, and another 3, go back into that unit, Ellis is going to be so upset that he didn't kill Harry the Hecatos, who's basically just living. He's just living for the game now. Look at that. He's just got moody because all his mates are dead. Harry the Hecatos. What a legend. Morning, Speckles.
No, he's going to tell us how good the Bone Reapers are.
Oh, bloody hell. Hi, Speckles. What are you doing? So, what will Ellis maybe have... So, what did he commit to this? So, he committed these chariots. They're 120 points each. So, he committed 408 points to take out this flank. He didn't just take out the flank, though. He also scored this objective and this bonus objective for doing it. So, he got himself 3 victory points, putting him on 6. So, it's a pretty good first turn. And
it's a huge lead.
It's a huge lead, but if he'd have just killed that one unit... that one Harry Hecatos here, then he would have really neutered the ability for Benji to score any more. But he obviously didn't, so that's sad. That's all I've got to say.
Put Shield Wall on the 4 Mortek guards to try and keep them alive.
Okay. Or what on the 4? So it's going to be re-rolling. That's re-rollable save. So Ellis is going to be looking for those. He can do mortal wounds, and he has got rend of 1 on his great blades. But that's going to be a tough activation, especially when more than likely these Mortek are going to activate first, and they might kill.
I'm just waiting for the 3 Marauders to kill Caracross.
Yeah. Morning, Pete. So just quick update for everyone on what's happened. I'll let everyone know what's happening while we're in the combat phase of Osiark Bone Reapers turn 1. In turn 1, Ellis, so the Slaves of Darkness got the choice to go first. They did go first. What happened was they moved this screen of 18 Untamed Beasts up here. We saw a chariot teleported, and we saw cogs summoned in the bottom left-hand corner by the blue scribes. We then saw the Gaunt Summoner, who was here, move over there. He summoned some pink horrors. They moved onto the objective. They held it. And then we saw 4 chariots run up the board here. And we saw them all hit into this unit of 20 Mortek Guard. They killed them down to 1 Mortek Guard, Harry the Hecatos, who lived. He lived through combat as well. That was all damage done in the charge phase, by the way. None of it in combat. And then... in the combat phase, Harry Hecatos lived. We also saw a unit of Marauders summoned here, charge in, lock up both of the crawlers, so they've not been able to shoot this turn. In Osiark Bone Reapers turn 1, we saw the crawler move away, we saw them reposition here, we've seen a charge from here, but most importantly we saw 3 Mortek go back into that unit at the top, and we've seen this crawler move out and Catacross move into those Marauders. So... the big question is whether or not this unit of 4 Mortek Guard who are here, they're kind of the darker coloured ones, you can see there, are going to live through the game. That's the real question, eh, James? Because if they do, it's going to change the shape of everything, right?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
There goes a chariot.
7 wounds with a 4-up save taken out there. Like, rend 1 on these guys. If he's used command ability, it's going to be rend 2.
And he's re-rolling 1 to hit.
And re-rolling ones to hit. For some reason, they hit on 3s. It's dumb. In Benji wins the priority and gets another 3 back. That 1 Mortek will end up holding all those chariots for the whole game. Yeah, I agree. Like that death. I had a very similar, very similar situation when I was over in Northern Ireland playing. I sent 2 Doom Wheels out into a unit of 10 Mortec that were here, killed them down to 1, and 6 Storm Fiends into 10 Mortec and killed them down to 1. This is against Nathan Sanderson, who's a wonderful man. And then the Gash just brought loads back, and then that was it. It was the end of the game. It was just the worst experience of my life. I was like,
No. Those chariots just going taken off like paper.
Yes. They're just gone. Look at that. I mean, they're 120 points, and they did some incredible stuff that we've just seen, right? Like, really cool. They are the OCR Bone Reapers are Petrifex, by the way, and the safe start on this list is Ravagers. The lists are in the chat if you guys want to go check them out. It goes to show you like how much that 3-up save, but also how much that the survivability of these Mortec Guard are. Like, it's why you don't tend to see the Harvesters very much. You know, the Gothazar Harvesters, James.
Yep.
Because you don't really need to put any more back into the unit. Because if they can just survive by 1, then Big Boy Catacross is putting 3 in a turn. That's decent, yeah. And the Soulmate.
Well, it's a lot of models, right?
Yeah, loads. Loads.
And that's survivable.
Yeah. So who you guys in the chat rooting for? I know I've asked you before, but there's some new people who are here, and I'd be interested to know what you're thinking. AOS Coach banging on, hoping Benji gets it. Benji, I'm rooting for you, bro. I think you might pull it back, but it's whether or not you can pull it back in time. Because you can see he decided not to be aggressive with this unit of Mortec Guard on the left-hand side, but he can't be, because otherwise some dickhead unit of Marauders is going to pop up and pin his chariots in again. Yeah. Whereas, I've already talked about it, but he could use his own chariots to screen his own backfield and then use them effectively. So he doesn't need to be in the position that he's in. He definitely doesn't need to be so central. He can just move that sideways, and now he's using a board edge to protect himself. So it's a good lesson to learn, though, right? Hopefully, that's the lesson he takes away from this. Unless he was luring them in, unless it was big bait. What do you think?
So what we just saw another Death Rider die as well on that one chariot.
Oh.
So it's down to only 3 Death Riders on that right hand side. Is the way I'm looking.
Interesting, but those Death Riders, I wonder if they're gonna do a loop and try and come down here eventually. And they've also done 5 wounds to the chariot, or he's got 5 left.
He's got 2 left, I think.
2 left.
I think
So he's taken 5, so they're going down. And then this Chaos Chariot has taken 4. Look at that. So unfortunately, that gambit, that early hit, doesn't seem to have paid off because of this one legend. The legend.
I don't know though. I mean, a 6-point lead is strong, and now now this whole pile of this backboard here, where all his powerhouses are, is just going to sit there for the rest of the game, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. You're right. It's a big push, especially when the Mortec are so slow.
Yep.
I mean, they can be faster. Obviously, you can use the command ability to make them a bit faster, which is why you've seen this unit here screen. Because they're just basically like, this objective you're not allowed. The pink horrors will get mulched by a unit of Mortec, but as you can see, they're right on the edge there, so they've got to actually get over there. Whether or not they'll actually do that, that's important. And Big Piece Catacross is in the backfield trying to protect them, so it's actually. Turns 3 and 4 are going to be interesting depending on movement, like where units have been positioned and where they're going to get to. I'd have been tempted in the piling phase. I think Benji might have, if we scroll back at some point and see, but Benji might have piled in as close as he could this way, so he made his charge that way, but then he started to move some of his units around to get further down, which is a really good move. There we go. And Catacross, unsurprisingly, has killed 3 Marauders.
Yeah, so there was a bit you might have missed. So there was a hilarious point where the one chariot into the 4 Mortec Guard managed to actually kill one in combat, and he was like, "Oh, how could I not do that last turn?" Which I thought was quite funny.
Oh, is he frustrated? So James is listening in on the game, Which is awesome of him, which we can do, and we're not listening to the players so as not to disturb them. Again, this is organised by the Plymouth Troll Slayers, this event, so there are 11 other tables happening right now somewhere else in the internet. That's what's going down. And we might be able to jump to some of them at some point, but or we might get an update from our man Adam as he goes through it. Best TO ever. I'm arguing James. What do you think?
Yeah, we had a nice little chat this morning.
Yep.
Terrible.
Oh no. Okay,
There's still one left.
Still one left, and it's important what that one chariot is actually doing. He's locking these units in combat for this turn, and by not combat, but what he's doing is he's stopping any movement that they might try and do next turn. But that's a big hit. It's going to be half of the army that Slaves to Darkness has lost there, which is a shame. Very, very tough. Very tough. Oh, I'm excited to see what the other 4 chariots do.
Yeah, and here's the priority roll.
Oh, here we go. This is big. Where is it? Oh.
So they put them on a middle objective.
3 for the Bone Reapers. But the Slaves to Darkness get a 5. Oh, they needed that. They needed that. That's unfortunate for Ozarks. Exciting for Slaves to Darkness.
Yeah,
that was a lot.
Yeah, because I mean he's going to score at least 5, isn't he? They just discern if they're going to if he's going to take the turn.
Well, let's have a look, shall we? Let's have a look and see what see if he wants to or what he's going to commit. If he could get the Marauders in to lock these up at the back again, that would be great. Just to neuter their output for another turn.
He's guaranteed to lock one of them up, I think.
Move the Untamed Beasts up just to create a screen so they can't go any further in turns 2 and maybe turn 3. So they'll hit and then maybe they'll get there, which isn't particularly far, which let those pink horrors do their job. Problem is this right-hand flank where just everything's kind of fallen to pieces. But he could potentially, I don't know, it's a tough one. He needs to bring this output to bear. He's taking the turn. Okay. Plymouth Troll Slayers, let us know in the chat what's going on with the other. But you can always jump into the Skype call, drop me a message, and you can let us know what's happening on the other tables at the minute. That would be really fun to see. I don't know if he's listening. We didn't organise this as well, maybe, as we could have. So welcome to Wargamer. Okay, here we go. So he's taken the turn. We've seen some spells cast, James.
Just waiting for it. So reroll ones to save on the Carcadras.
The Carcadrak?
Carcadrak, that's the one.
Okay. All right, so that makes me think he's going in.
The Gaunt Summoner is casting Mask of Darkness, which he does.
He could teleport himself.
I'm guessing so. Yeah.
Oh, cheeky Darkfire Demon Rift incoming.
Yeah, I think so. He's got Darkfire Demon Rift, and he'd got because it was Cogs the other end of the spell, wasn't it?
Yes. Now the unfortunate thing in this situation is, he could do it if he gets the Demon Rift in the right place here. Then he adds +1 mortal wound for being within 12 inches of the Gaunt.
Yep.
And then +1 because of the Soul Mason, who's also a wizard. That would be 2 mortal wounds because he only needs to kill.
It goes off.
Oh, wait, he's got it off. Oh,
yeah.
Some intense measuring here because he needs to hit. The Mortek Guard is what he needs to hit. Oh, he's not going to be in range, I don't think. Because obviously he has to be 9 away here, and then only 3 inches is going to... Oh, no, he sets it up within... He's got 21-inch range, hasn't it, at the start? Yeah. Oh, here we go. This is important, because if he can get within 12 inches of... that's not going to be 12 inches, because that's way too far. But he's going to get it here, so he can potentially...
Oh. That's my favourite thing. Like, in a real game, you'd be, like, really careful. Just throw it around.
Yeah, just do whatever you need to do, right?
Talking of cheeky demon rifts, do you want a cheeky update?
Oh, hello. Hi, Adam. Yes, I'd love a cheeky update, please.
So, if I'm honest, fuck all has happened so far.
Oh, okay.
But there's a few interesting things. Table 1 especially is quite interesting. You've got Stormcast versus Skaven.
Okay.
Stormcast with their 2 Star Drakes are just loving nomming on some rats. You've got a Star Drake that's run forward into the middle objective and just loving life, to be honest. While Croak apparently sits back on a Bellwind Vortex and just throwing out mortal wounds against Skaven. Which is interesting and a bit stupid. Table 2 is quite cool. You got Khorne versus Big War. Owen Jackson's Khorne are sat in the middle having a nice scrap with some Aurochs, while a Rogue Idol has triple moved, run forward, and absolutely dicking the guys in the back. Absolutely loving his life. Table 3, Seraphon versus Squigs. Let's be honest, the Squigs are the real winners here, because fuck Skaven, or Seraphon. But yeah, the Squigs, their first move that they did, they managed to roll a double 1 for their move. So that was great for them. Luckily, luckily he had the battalion, so he has managed to he got to re-roll it. Table 4, not a lot's happened so far. Table 5 is quite cool. You got Big War versus Big War, so you've got a mirror match of just people kicking the shit out of each other. So that's quite fun. They've basically just gone. Steve's Big War has gone balls out, run straight into the other Aurochs, and rolled some big charges and basically got his entire army in. And it's whether the other Aurochs can fight him back. Table 6, you got Deepkin versus some Sylvaneth. It's going okay, but not a lot. They're not sort of waiting for each other, sort of sat in each other's deployment going, no, you move. No, you move. And that's about it. So that's a fun game. Table 7 is Deepkin versus Legion of Chaos Ascendant, I think. So Dan's Deepkin, he's got the Knight Venator in. He used a Star-Fated Arrow, expected a lot, and missed. So that was intense of nothing happening. But the Legion of Chaos Ascendant are enjoying turning eels into spawn. Apparently there's been quite a few eels being turned into spawn. Table 12, I'm going to miss out a few tables because they weren't streaming their games, so I won't be able to check it out properly. Table 12, you've got Seraphon versus Kharadron Overlords. The KO of trying to pick out some Seraphon characters. If they can do that, they'll be in quite a good position. But other than that, again, it's one of those sort of games where the Seraphon have sat back just hoping for the best and doing what Seraphon do and winning. Table 13 is Beastclaw Raiders versus Legion of Chaos Ascendant as well. It's basically the Beastclaw have just thrown 2 Stonehorns into the middle objective and are casually sat there going, yeah, try and shift me. If you can, I win. And also loving life with just sat there slogging their way through demons and just killing everything they want, really. And then last table 15, is definitely the best table. You've got 3 Chaos Mammoths. So 3 Chaos Mammoths are just launching themselves into the Bone Reapers, or the Bone Reapers try and survive. I don't know how that's going to happen. I don't know if the Bone Reapers can survive 3 Chaos Mammoths charging into them. But if any army can, it's going to be the Bone Reapers.
It's going to be.
So
I actually want to keep up. I want to keep up with that table. That sounds like it's a really fun.
I am gonna go and check on that one in a minute. My club mate is the Bone Reaper player, so I'm kind of rooting for the Ossiarchs, but at the same time, Mammoths. So let's be honest. Fingers crossed the Mammoths kill him. Yeah, that's all I've got so far.
Brilliant. Thank you for the update. But while you were giving us that update, the big news from the table: Harry the Hekatos died to the Darkfire Demon Rift. Yeah, it's brilliant. Yeah, we're over the crowd goes wild. There he is, over the moon. So that's huge. That Darkfire Demon Rift. So look at that: teleport, Gaunt Summoner, Demon Rift into the Hekatos, and the unit took them out. Benji's got a big. Oh, and he took out a Kavalos Death Rider as well.
Yeah, so he took one of those and the 4 Mortek Guard, or 3 that were left.
A big shout out, by the way, to Adam there, who's running the tournament and giving us the updates. So thank you for that. I'm sad we missed 3 mammoths. I think I know which table we're going on next, James.
Yeah,
Just telling
me
you.
too. The chariot's retreated just to annoy him even more, I think.
Oh, what, over on the right-hand side?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some serious moving at the moment. I think he's probably trying to work out where those chariots are going.
So he's moved the pinks up, which I find quite interesting, as you can see here. So he's taken them away from this edge and moved them over. So I don't know if he's trying. I think he's trying to drag this Mortec unit in to put them here, because then what's happening is all the chariots are going to go hit the Mortec unit.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So he's trying to...
He'd measured as well, so he'd measured from the Mortec to his right side home objective. So I don't know whether he was nervous that maybe they'd run, move forward, charge, and if they got a good charge roll, they might be able to get 1 or 2 onto that back objective, maybe.
Yeah. I think he's just dragging these guys in so these guys can hit him, and then he's just really pinned in with all of his stuff there, and the board is Slaves to Darkness really. However, those crawlers can do phenomenal work, like outrageous work. There is currently no hero near the there's no hero nearby those pink horrors. So if they were to take a significant amount of damage from the crawlers, you could also see a dangerous battle shock as well. But maybe he doesn't really care about that. He's just looking to drag these in, hit them, and score. That seems like the sensible decision. And then I would say it's compounded by the fact that you've seen, again, like we talked about, this kind of box mentality. He's put some threats outside, so he's dragging this unit on the top left into and away from the objective, which is, again, really clever play. It's really good, really good. It's the first time I've ever got to see Ellis play before, and I'm really enjoying it. That's really all I've got.
Yeah, he's currently, as far as they can work out from the table, he's now struggling what the hell he's doing with the back 4 chariots.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I think he's got, like, where they're going is where he's debating. Because there's a gap between the 2 pieces of scenery. So the Bone Reapers one and the Azurite Townscape. So I'm guessing he's trying to work out if he risks a chariot and throws it at that Mortec guard, even though obviously it'll kill it, or whether he holds them back for another turn. I mean, at the minute he's scoring a lot higher, isn't he? So
yeah, he is scoring a lot higher. You're right. And he's going to continue to score again in this situation. He's not now going to score this objective on the top right hand, but he's going to get the center again, which is worth 2.
Yeah.
So there's not really much he could do about that, but he took the early win here. And honestly, if he can just delete 1 more unit of those Mortec Guard, the game's probably his based on board presence.
Yeah.
But it's whether or not that's actually going to happen. And it looks like he's setting up for that charge, like I talked about. But he doesn't want to allow that bunny hop to be too easy.
Here they are.
The cheeky marauders.
I'd have gone the other way, I think.
So Math Mallow in the chat wants to... So this event organised by the Plymouth Troll Slayers, Math Mallow in the chat says he'd like to stress that not all of the Plymouth Troll Slayers are like Adam. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or not. I've enjoyed my experiences with Adam, absolutely. And I think he's really moved on as a person since the Asbo days. I don't know if that's true. It's just made me laugh. He's also got loads of tattoos. Well, Agency Wide tattoos. Have you seen them, James?
No.
Yeah. He's got loads of Agency Wide tattoos. He's got squig, all sorts. He's in it all the way, as they say. He's fully committed.
Fully committed.
So these Marauders, and again, let's talk about this little cheeky ally inclusion that you can do in Chaos. Blue Scribes. Yeah, with cogs in the corner, giving these guys +2 to charge, so they are going to have a big old charge. Problem is, he's going to want to avoid Catacross piling in, so I don't think there's much they're going to be able to do about those Mortec crawlers. They're not trying to kill the Mortec crawlers. What they're trying to do is just lock them up from shooting.
Yeah, I think he could probably ignore him. So if he just piles 1 Marauder in, to the crawler, he's got to make Kaka. I can never remember his name. Kakatros, whatever his name is. He'll have to make him charge again the next turn, so they're going to die, but they take out a whole nother round of shooting, don't they? Which means instead of shooting 2 catapults twice, he's only going to shoot 1 in 2 turns.
Yes. Yeah. He's done really well. Yeah, that Marauder pick is so big. And again, actually talking about the Bone Reapers army, they so desperately need some sort of teleport or something to deal with their mobility. And they don't have it, and I don't actually want them to have it on their army lists before anyone in the chat goes wild. So you're going to see what is some pretty decent shooting, actually. Horrors.
Only 3 are in range, I think.
Oh, never mind then. Otherwise, because that's 30 shots if you get the whole lot in, which is, again, a nice little thing when you drop them out in front of you and you do those 30 shots. People are like, oh, I was not expecting that.
And they can walk. Don't forget.
They can walk. Now I know that, they're even better. Look at this Karkadrag. He doesn't seem like much of a Chaos Lord. Just sat at the back. Yeah. Just
holding his axe up. Pointing the wrong way.
What's he doing?
God knows. I don't think he knows himself.
He doesn't know. 1
shot on the Mortek guard from the Horrors.
Did it kill him?
Let's see. 1.
Oh, no.
Did nothing.
Didn't take it out. Damn it. Okay. Well,
didn't do a thing.
It's going to be interesting what happens next. There's going to be no charges. So this will be... Oh, no, wait, there's that 1 charge over there. That's definitely happening. Those Marauders, are they getting in? That's the big question. Come on, Benji. Fend them off. Let's see what you got. And then, yeah. Thank you for following Sir Raygun. Thank you, Full Greener, for being here. Thank you for everyone who's joined us live. Hope you're enjoying it. It's at this time, like, you know, when it slows down a little bit. That's why when we did the 3 table coverage at Sheffield Slaughter, we could just like whip in between all the tables. That was great. That's what's happened, James.
So there's a charge of a 12 plus 3.
He rolled a 12.
I'm pretty sure he's just so he might have moved.
No!
I might have missed it. So he might have done the Marauder thing. So he rolled at least 1 6. So he's got 12 plus 1 for the drum plus 2 for cogs. So he's got 15 inches on his charge.
Oh my god! So all he has to do is get 1 model outside of 3 of Catacross, and easy,
I reckon.
And he's locked up another. That is so funny. Those crawlers have been locked down all game so far.
So one will at least be 3, I guess, this game. But
that's what, again, the design mechanic on the crawlers, I've talked about this before, is really nice, right? It gives you some counterplay. They're really good, but in this situation, they've been taken advantage of, and they've been ineffective so far in the game, and they'll continue to be so. So that's it. Oh, Zaid guy in the chat says, I have Chaos Knights style tattoos on both of my arms. Oh, nice.
Oh, there you go.
James, should we get matching Warhammer tattoos?
So hilariously, so we're just they're having, if you highlight the Mortek crawler, Rob, you should be able to see it's like a box. So it's a static image, someone's boxed it like a box. So the thin white line on that box can't place a model on.
Oh, really?
So basically, the Mortek crawler halfway back to the edge of the board is like a solid wall, which is probably what the Mortek needs, because you probably not get within 3 inches of it.
So the score currently is 6 points to 2. In this turn, and we're in the second turn, by the way. This is going to be 2 points in the centre, 3, 4 for Chaos again. So it's going to be 10-2 going into OCR Bone Reaper's turn 2. They're straight away going to pick up these 2 points, and then it's whatever they do in their turn. Probably the most they're going to do is take the centre and pick up 4. So probably by the end of this turn, we're going to end up 10, 6.
It'll be 11. Will it be 11? It'll be 11, won't it?
Why?
So he's getting 2, 3. Oh, no, 4. Sorry. My bad. Bad counting.
Chris says, I have a Blood Angel symbol tattoo on my upper arm with a dragon around it and over my shoulder, chest, etc. Makes total sense. Oh, a dragon. Nice.
Oh, this is some very complex. So he's going to try and get both crawlers. So he's moved models closer.
Oh, okay. So he's going to try and be within 3.
He's going to be within 3 of that crawler.
Markle, thanks for subscribing, by the way. So he's going to try and get there. Oh, I've had
He's going to get both.
I've had the lines on the screen the whole way. I'm sorry. Interesting. So he's sneaking around here, staying out of 3. And then while he might not be in range yet, if he can make it so that the crawler is the closest model, he can pile in that way. And if he can end up within 3. The problem Go on.
What's the crawler's minimum? Because it's got a minimum range, hasn't it? So the minute he's within 3 of it, it's in combat and it's doom, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Wait, one more time.
Okay, so I don't think he's going to be able to get both.
You don't think he's going to be able to get both? Okay.
No.
Okay. Well, that is going to make a difference. It's going to make a big difference. But he's still in a strong position. But then so are the Osiarchs. It could be a longer game than we had expected. But he's got to be super happy about that Darkfire Demon Rift. Also, those Kavalos Death Riders. They're definitely going to go Gaunt Summoner hunting in that little corner.
I almost feel like that's the bait, though, isn't it? Because I know he's a 2-cast wizard, but at this point he's kind of pointless. Like, he's done his part of the game. Whereas what they want to do is charge that chariot, take it out, and leave that back objective open.
Well, yeah, he's given himself 2 options here. He's like, I've blocked here, and I've given bait here. So hit there, still don't score this objective. Go there, don't score that objective. So there's 2 bad decisions. Well, there's a bad decision and a safety net here in order to stop this back objective getting. So it might be at least, it won't be this turn, but it might be 2 turns. If he goes this way, it'll be 2 turns until he even gets this objective. But if he goes that way, it might be 3 turns till he gets that objective. So the bad decision is to go for the Gaunt Summoner. That said, though, the Gaunt Summoner, if he's left alone, can potentially womp over. Or if these Mortek do move off and take this centre, then what happens is the Gaunt Summoner could go over. So the Kavalos Death Riders almost have to stay there just to outnumber. Problem is if then this chariot is alive to hit into those. So actually, it's a tougher spot than it might seem based on units on the board for the Bone Reapers. Yeah. So David NL says the whole unit has to be within 6 of this crawler. Otherwise, it can still shoot, basically. So to neuter a unit, you have to have a whole unit within 6 for the shooting. Otherwise, it can... Go on.
Okay, so we've moved into the Bone Reapers hero phase. That was super fast.
So there we go.
Just so you know, 2 Marauders died from that back bunch, and he didn't bother to roll the Marauders' attacks because he said he wasn't going to do enough that wouldn't heal. Yeah.
Well, so the big news in this turn, surely, is that Harry the Hekatos is dead. Yeah? No more units back into Harry's unit. No more units indeed. So he's currently using the Bone Tide Nexus on the Gaunt Summoner. Going to try and pop him a Mortal Wound. That might give us some indication. Is he doing a Mortal Wound or is he doing the...
Yeah, he's doing a Mortal Wound.
There we go. So he's done a Mortal Wound, which might mean the Death Rider's going there, which is a bit of a mistake, I think. But then
it just means, I think, if they go there and slaves get the next turn, you just throw that chariot into them and probably kill them or bring them down to 1 and make them pointless. Because they're so far away, they're not even getting units back, are they now?
Yeah, it's genuinely... Ooh, I'm excited, but also nervous about what's going to happen here. The crawlers, 1 crawler, though, is in effect. This crawler is actually going to do some damage. I wonder who we're going to see it target. Is it going to be the Pink Horrors? Is it going to be the Karkadrak? Look at this monster here.
I think the sensible thing would be to take that chariot out and just run those Death Riders straight down to the objective.
But then what he's not doing is he can't, right? Because it's like a double down. He can't move the Mortek off and hit the pink
No, no, no.
horrors.
So the Death Riders. So you just blow the chariot up and run those Death Riders down, maybe.
But then what
Oh,
it'll do? But then the Gaunt Summoner just pops over and stands on it himself.
Yeah.
So it's actually he's been pinned in quite a lot here. It's genuinely quite interesting. Honestly, like there's some big decisions that can go the wrong way later on, and it really does show. Like, so this Catagros committal here probably should have been more over on this side to be able to engage, or maybe even just central and then be able to project power left and right. But he currently isn't anywhere, so I don't know what he's going to do. It's honestly they've made a decision. They've made a decision. They're going to leave the Gaunt Summoner. Interesting.
They're going for the chariot, I think.
Do you know what? I reckon he might catapult the Gaunt Summoner. Get him out of the way. Take him off as a piece.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That would be maybe more than anything. That would.
Oh, here we go. He's going for the middle objective.
Yes.
So give them extra movement.
So command ability. So Ocean Bone Reaper's got command ability plus 3-inch movements. That's going to make 7-inch move for these guys that are moving there, as you can see them. So it's you guys can't see as well as me because I've got a bigger screen. Sorry. So yeah, this unit here are going to be moving, and they're going to be going into that center objective, looking to hit those pink horrors.
So I think the problem is what he was talking about just was trying to get 8 onto the objective in that movement, which I don't think he's managed to do, because I guess the problem is once he charges those pinks and starts fighting them, everyone he kills is going to be more bodies.
Yes, that's true. So he's just not. So he's just trying to outnumber them as opposed
to
fight them.
Yeah, I think that was his plan. So maybe he's going for a double. Maybe he charges
that doesn't make much sense though, because you don't. It's not like you just randomly create. Like the Vortec unit should be able to hit enough that he's taking wounds out of the blue horrors as well.
To brims though, so he's got to kill 50 wounds, hasn't he?
Unless he shoots them. He doesn't have to kill 50. I guess actually this looks like it might be 12 inches. So the Karkadrak is the general. So if he's within range between the Karkadrak and the pink horrors, he will be able to make them immune to battle shock. And let's just go find out if he's sat on a command point. He's not sat on any command points though, so he's got none to do so. So I take out the pink horrors. Like I think they could. Look at the beasts. Look at not the beasts. Sorry. Look at the Mortek Guard going after the beasts. But again, like we talked about, being dragged off the objective, away from scoring. So that's, I think, again, some really smart play there, being brought out of where they need to be. There we go. He's dragged over onto the left-hand side, and then the Mortek have moved into the centre. James, what do you think? What's gonna happen? James might have gone, and I don't know. Uh-oh. Am I still on the internet? Yeah, I think so.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Sorry. I was here, and I muted myself while Adam was talking, and I was listening. And forgot. So I've been talking, sorry. So the Gaunt Summoners just got absolutely splattered.
The Gaunt Summoner got splattered, did you say?
Yeah, absolutely splattered.
Oh, by the crawler?
Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing.
I don't know what you've missed what I said. So he was trying to get 8 bodies on here. We discussed that, right?
Yes.
Yeah, cool. We're good. I don't know how it muted me.
Okay, so we've just seen the Gaunt Summoner go down, so that's actually really important. So there we go. Poor Gaunt Summoner, and it's actually Anyway, he's out. He had 6 wounds. 3 of those he only needed. Oh, actually, do you know how many went through, James?
Oh no, not off the top of my head. Sorry.
It's okay because interestingly, the 5 damage on the crawler, had he not got the mortal wound off the Bone Tide Nexus, it could have been down to just 1 shot hitting him because he's got 6 wounds. So he can survive 1 shot, but if he'd have done the mortal wound on it as well, then that does that 6th wound, which took him out. Which is actually, there we go. The Death Riders are into the chariot, so we're going to see the chariot go down. Are we going to see the Mortec charge as well? That's the real question. And honestly, this could go really quite wrong, really quick for Slaves to Darkness. If this charge hits here, then the double turn happens.
He's basically debating if he should do that charge. He's not charged in the middle.
He's not charged into the middle.
Nope.
Okay. All right. Well, tense, really tense. I don't know why he didn't do that. I would have charged into the middle personally.
Yeah, me. So I think what he's scared of is those 4 chariots then just openly charging him. But
they can still do that now.
Yeah, I was going to say they can do it anyway. And he did just say he said he chose not to do it. It might be a mistake, but he's not doing it.
It's definitely, even before we go any further, a mistake.
Yeah.
Hey, Elford Minis, go on.
I just don't understand it because those pinks are -1 to hit, so they wouldn't have done anything.
Yeah, they also won't do anything anyway. They're terrible in close combat. Whereas the thing about pink horrors is if you've got the output to go through the unit, which you do, which that unit does, then that 50 wounds isn't so scary as you might think. Especially when they've got no command points available.
Yeah, I think having used them, like they're super strong in their own little way, and they intimidate people. But once they get hit, they fall like paper.
Yeah, you should just hit them.
Oh.
But I mean, getting rid of the Untamed Beast is a good decision if he goes for that charge.
Chariot died.
Oh wait, is he not charged the Mortec at the top left?
No, don't think so.
What? So Catacross has gone into the Marauders here. So clear out the Marauders. That does mean though that these Untamed Beasts can swing around and just do the same thing to the same catapult again. It's like,
yeah,
but they're also holding those guys up, like not charging them.
Well, I think the hilarity is now as well. Like he's moved all his men away from the other catapult, so they don't even have to go to the one with Catacross. They can literally just deploy behind that objective, probably on that objective. That's not going to be 9 inches, so he could just now take that back objective next turn with 10 Marauders.
Yes. Anyway, he could also take this, the top right-hand objective, you mean?
Yeah, he could literally just... So ignore taking the catapult out. Could just claim a load more points.
Yeah. It's interesting, actually. And again, talking about the dynamics of this particular battle plan. Again, if you just consider it a game that exists within this box, all of this is everything around here is your fun zone where you can make the game actually interact. But unfortunately, you have to engage with the objectives in the center. It has to be, or not in the center, in the middle of the board. So there's more scope in this game sometimes than people realize in Focal Points, which is why Focal Points is a really good battle plan. It's a really fun battle plan, and it seems like it's quite condensed into the center, which it is, but you have to be condensed into the center. So it means that you can counterplay around the edges. So I really like it as a battle plan anyway.
I think I played this one. I'm pretty sure this is what I played. I think this was the first battle plan at Sheffield Slaughter. And I'm pretty sure I could deploy the 9 inches straight onto an objective because someone left them open for me.
Yeah. So again, another good point pointed out by Darren in the chat is this pink horrors here. Is if Ellis wins turn, all he has to do is move the pink horrors in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
and then get the objective without having to fight a battle that he loses 100% of the time.
Here we go. A 2. Oh.
Who won it?
Slaves to Darkness has won the decision.
Slaves to Darkness have won the priority there. They have scored... What's he scored here? He scored a point here, a point here. Did he score the centre or not?
Yeah, he scored 2. He's got 7 versus 8 on the centre.
Wait, did he get the centre?
No.
Why wouldn't you charge then?
I literally don't know. I feel like after he was like, I don't feel like I've got this.
Anyway,
He needs to move that Darkfire Demon.
You got this, Benji. I believe in you. Let's go, Benji. Let's go, Benji. Just raise those shields higher and higher, Benji. You got this. Okay, so Slaves Darkness have got the turn, which means they're already going to pick up this objective, and they're going to pick up this objective just by moving the pinks in. The real question is what they're going to do. They've got these 2 Death Riders they've got to deal with over here, but they've got these chariots that can go and commit, and I'd be tempted to just move the pink horrors actually here, commit with the chariots here, take the center, take that Mortek Guard unit out, but you might not be able to get them all fit around, to be honest. So maybe go that way to get all of the damage out there, but then Catacross can counter-attack and you still haven't dealt with that center unit, and you haven't dealt with those. So probably better to neuter this, and then just keep standing here and let him do that, bring the Marauders on, and you've got that part of the board. But loads... that's game right. Don't think Reapers can come back now. I don't think the OCR Bone Reapers can come back, but it does depend on what the Slaves of Darkness decide to do, because that's where the decision.
Yeah, I would say the sensible thing is to. So for me, I'd be moving those pinks back to the back right objective that's empty, and just shoot the Death Riders and 4 chariots into those Mortek Guard in the center. And 10 Marauders onto the back objective.
Oh, well, so actually, can he even more Marauders is the real question, because he's done it twice.
Oh, no. I don't think he can.
No, he's done it twice, right?
He's out of heroes, I think.
Yeah. So, it's going to be... Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah, look at that. Nice. Pink Horrors. Woohoo!
+1, -1 to hit.
Yeah, maybe you could use one of the one of the Chaos Chariots to take out the cavalry. That's an option.
No, I don't think it's worth it, is it? Because those they're pointless against the pinks. There's no way they're killing enough to make that work.
No, but taking out because if you think about turn 5, it comes over here, hits these, then that chariot's there doing nothing. But then they're having this fight. And then you can go onto the top right objective and score that as well. Like the real thing about these many objective games or many objective scenarios is to take out any of the scoring units.
Yeah.
So I think we're seeing. Not forgetting, if you just joined us by the way, these are all Marcus and Esh, these Chaos Chariots. The aura provided by the Karkadrak is going to allow them to re-roll runs.
Yep.
And re-roll charges, and the little
and 6s explode into 2s to win roll.
And also, just down here, the blue scribes, the cogs, is going to give +2 to charge, +2 to run. So they're going to be going really fast. And once per game, these Chaos Chariots, they haven't used it yet, they're going to be able to run and charge. So you might see them go very fast. They've got a base movement of 12, as we talked about.
Here we go.
Trying to get across. So, here we go. We might see him flood those. So it looks like he's going to go for the centre. Again... Go on.
He rolled a 1 on his run, re-rolled it and got another 1. So I think that might have affected. I think the 1 chariot might have been intending to go for those Death Riders.
Absolutely. It's a really funky list of chariots. They go so fast. Way faster than you would expect, especially with the blue scribes. Oh, right on top of the Nexus. So they're going to surround the Nexus effectively. And then he's going to go up and around for the charge. I mean, if he can get the really big charge off, James, he's going to go around to the back of the Mortek unit. Yeah?
Yep.
And go grab that as well. And then if he does enough damage, Benji's going to be forced to make a decision, because obviously don't forget most of this damage is going to happen in the impact phase, in the charge phase, sorry. Is he going to take units off this objective or units off this objective? And if he puts chariots here and here, he might actually be able to condense the Mortek Guard unit into one of the two, and so go score the objective as well. So it's really good. Doing that damage in the movement phase, really opening up some sort of ideas that you can whittle down. You can move on to objectives and also do the punishing work to score. Is quite cool, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just debating him going up and over the Nexus, I think.
Come on, you've got this. You've got this. I'm excited about it. Let's go. So what? The range that he needs to go up and down.
Yeah, basically that he could charge over. But I mean, I think so. They're debating him charging like literally up and over the actual Nexus, whereas actually he could probably just charge over the little pillar, right?
Yeah, yeah, he could do.
Like,
but
forget the middle, just go up and over the little pillar and into the back. I think.
Yeah. Let's have a look. Let's get a bird's eye view, shall we? I mean, he could just go sideways if you really wanted to. Or
I
actually,
think he'd get all four into the front of them anyway. Whether it's him trying to get, whether he was debating trying to get into the back of them, so he's got to take from one side or the other, I guess, is the sensible thing, because he's only got four on that back objective, and 6, 7 on that front objective.
I think the right decision is to just jump around here with this chariot if he can, but it's whether or not he's going to be able to, I think, is the real point. And get in there. It's super fun. I love seeing it. I love the idea of chariots. Reminds me of Lord of the Rings, right? The ride of the Rohirrim. What's the quote? Do you remember the quote? Ride for ruin!
Yeah, ride for Red! Something, and the Red Dawn!
And the Red Dawn! Yeah,
Great.
100%. Great speech.
Maybe we should make an event where, unless you give a rousing speech, all of your everything only hits on 6s.
Yeah, exactly. I want.
But if you give a good speech, all hits.
Here we go. So unsurprisingly, in exactly what we expected, the Untamed Beasts are not engaging. They were never there to engage and only scream. So not charging them and killing them was wrong.
They could charge yet, I guess, but they could charge yet. But I mean, they're rubbish in combat.
Well, the only thing it'll charge is it'll charge into the catapult.
Yeah.
They'll charge it. Apologise for you and everyone.
There is actually, so there's one hiding in the doorway of the Elfildian archway. Elfildian archway. So he could literally I think it's a lady, she could charge into that crawler and just annoy it for another round.
There's also each of these. So this is made up of. So an Untamed Beast unit contains 9 models. So this is 2 lots of 9, and in those 9, you've got like a little spear chucker fella.
Yeah.
And so he might be able to pop a few wounds onto the Soul Mason. Probably not. But
I
still...
don't even know if it's worth it. Is it? What I would. I'm still completely thrown that Darkfire Demon Rift didn't move.
Oh yeah, maybe they forgot about it.
Maybe, yeah.
Well, it does do 2 damage. The Jagged Harpoon, FYI. It's not in range. It's 8 inches, but it's got Rend 1. It's actually
in range of the Mortec. So you just chuck it, right? Just for the sake of it.
If you can chuck a spear, you chuck a spear. That's always been my experience in life, generally. The propagation in the chat is being like, he knows the quote, spear shall be shaken, shield shall be splintered, a sword day, a red day. But is that true for the Mortec? Look at him facing off against all of this 2D horror. That's what they're currently...
Do you know what? I like the typo that was in chat. I like the idea that it should be pear shall be shaken. And there's just a load of Rohirrim shaking fruit trees.
Yeah, me too. Good. I love pears. I think it's one of my favourite fruits.
Oh, I got some downstairs.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, you upstairs?
Yeah, I'm in my office today.
Ooh, it's a serious day today.
Yeah.
Colonel Cabbage says this White Ungle Raiders are great. You get a screen and you do a little damage. Couldn't agree with you more.
Isn't Colonel Cabbage playing today?
No, he's playing tomorrow. He's playing the League of Knights tomorrow.
Okay.
I don't think he's playing today. I mean, some people who are playing are also watching, which is creeping me the hell out. It's like...
It's because they want, when they're on stream, they want to use our insider information.
I guess so, yeah. So we're in the charge phase now. All movement's done. as you can see, the Karkadrak has also got involved. So the Karkadrak could do some genuine combat.
The Karkadrak's now, and also if he actually, I mean, it's really unlikely, but if he could whittle those down with chariot charges and kill them with the Karkadrak, he gets to roll on the table too.
Yes, he does. Oh no! Look at that double one for the charge. He gets to re-roll it, but that double one is just the worst.
+2, isn't it? So 9.
9. So he's going to have to be a bit careful here with that charge. So he's not going to get that one chariot behind here.
I don't know if it matters. I think if he kills that unit, it's over anyway, isn't it? That's the issue now.
It's close to over anyway because this Mortek unit hasn't moved. Like he really should use Catacross to guard this and sent them off ASAP. Yeah. They should have just run forward where they could have and engaged. Because then he's threatening this back. As you can see, it's open now. So it really has come down. This is a really good game, a really good lesson. This game is a story of attrition and like understanding the way to win the scenario. And the way to win the scenario is to take out the units that can score, as opposed to sit on the objectives and just score. Because sometimes you can't take out the units, but both of these players could have taken out the units, I think. I imagine if he'd have put the Mortek here, so the chariots hit them and wipe them out, but then Catacross goes in and just whomps a couple of them. He then eventually wins that fight and can control the board space. I think maybe the Mortek, the Ossiarch were against it maybe from early, but it definitely were some things that could have been done to improve maybe what could have happened later in the game. So it's been super interesting, but it's been so fun watching the chariots just like whip in. Yeah. And do some crushing blows. I've loved it. I've really liked it. And such a fun army to put together as well. 8 chariots. You got to paint up. You've got a little wizard in there. You've got some like marauders with the... Well, not marauders, but you have got marauders as well. It's a fun army. Really shows you the Slaves of Darkness has got some like strength to it, right? The book.
Yeah, I think it's a great book. I just don't think it's been... Like, people have maybe missed bits of it a little bit. Because there's some great stuff in there, and it's one of those books that just has so many models in it.
Oh my god, it has got loads. Yeah, loads in. Right, okay. Where are we at? Do you know where we're at?
I think there's just some debate about their mortal wound save at the minute, and only one died, I think, from that first chariot.
What, the Netherite shields?
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, empower Netherite shields. I wonder in what phase that works. So that allows them to ignore mortal wounds on a 5+.
Yeah, that's the debate, I think, at the minute.
What, in which phase it happens in?
Yeah, I think so. So I think that's how it's going. And now, from what I can work out, he's just measuring basically how many chariots he can get in. Because interestingly, so it's interesting, isn't it? So he took from the front of that Mortek Guard unit. Yeah. So the more to obviously minimise his charge and to make it harder for him to get in, but obviously everyone he's taken away is going to be one more, one less body he has on that objective.
The real question really needs one. Yeah, and the real question is he going to get the Karkadrak in there to do the fighting? Because Karkadrak's really good in a fight, really decent, and he's also the general. He's got +2 wounds as well, so he's sat on 9 wounds with a 3-up save on a Karkadrak.
Yeah.
So 9 wounds. With
the Karkadrak's charging now.
There we go. So he also does impact hits when he charges as well. It's a whole army of units to do it. So I think it's on a 2+. He does a couple of mortal wounds. So he's going to hit in there. He's piled it. Look at this. He's just so scary, and he's going to eat. The Karkadrak's just going to eat a couple of those Mortek. Just eat their heads off. Nom 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 nom.
Here we go.
Great.
There's
another Harry Hekatos hiding in the back.
He did 6 mortal wounds on the charge.
Wow. There you go. 6 mortal wounds on the charge into the Mortek Guard. They're gone. Stunning.
Talking of mortal wounds, would you like an update about the mammoths?
I would love. Hello, young man. This is if anyone's just joined us. This is Adam. He's letting us know what's happening at the rest of the tournament. Please do.
I'm basically just going to update you on the mammoths, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't give a shit about anything else. So the three mammoths, one of the mammoths charged in and managed to do 10 mortal wounds when it charged. It was a little bit gross and absolutely nuked some of the Ossiarch Bone Reapers. Unfortunately, one of the mammoths has now died, and they are only on. I think they're just coming into turn 3. But right now, the mammoths are winning on objectives as well. So fingers crossed, the mammoths can fuck up some more Ossiarch Bone Reapers. But
Wow. Wowie. Adam, how much longer is left on the round?
So we've still got an hour and 15 minutes. So obviously we're doing 3-hour rounds at this one because Tabletop Simulator can be a little bit slower than a regular game. But yeah, so it's another hour and 15. So we end at 1:15.
Yeah. Okay. So that's to give you guys an update. We were going to talk about making maybe an overlay for the games eventually. I didn't know if just watching one Tabletop Simulator game, because as you said, they have been slower. But both these players are pretty much, I would say, this feels like a normal game pace most of the time. Not too bad. Most of the games looking like they might finish.
Yeah, it should all finish, to be honest. The main issues are like internet connectivity. So there's been a couple of people that have had internet issues that have slowed down their games. But other than that, it's going quite well. Most people are on turn 3, which is pretty good. But yeah, it's going well. I've got a couple of other updates about other tables. If you want to hear about those.
Well, we just got some charges going into this Mortec unit, so James might call out any mortal wounds that are done. But apart from that, yeah, love to hear them.
400 mortal wounds, that's what I'm hoping for. Just fuck off, Bone Reapers. Stupid army. And I never want to play them.
So 4 mortal wounds out of that charge.
That's not enough, do more.
And they're just saving them all, so he took 2 of them.
Should just do better, to be honest. Jesus, just roll better dice.
Yeah, just try much harder.
You can't even roll better, can you? The computer's just doing it.
Exactly, just rig the computer.
Yeah, put a trainer on that's always 6s.
Exactly, we're playing on the PC, and who's going to know if you're cheating? So.
But they're still losing a lot of that Bone Reaper unit. It's still going down.
Yeah, fuck off, that guard.
Yeah. Oh wait, is he going to go for a big charge? Oh my god.
It's time, I think.
But he might go into that the character at the back, the Soul Mason, or he might. Yeah, I think he's gonna use the other 2 to hit into the unit up here. You can see him measuring on the screen.
Yeah.
So he's got a couple of options. So if he can make some big charges. So what's happening on the rest of what's happening around the rest of the tournament?
So I've just seen someone put in the chat about Seraphon. So the Seraphon are, they're doing quite well. They've all taken Croak, and Croak's doing his thing and just dicking anyone that he comes across. The best Seraphon game is on table 3. It's Seraphon versus Squigs.
Oh,
and
poor bud.
The Squigs are still alive.
Yes.
So let's be honest, who's the real winner there?
Definitely the Squigs.
Fuck the Seraphon. I think Squigs are getting 100 extra tournament points just because they had to deal with Seraphon.
Good. Best sports incoming.
Oh yeah, 100%. Even though there's no sports votes because no one likes a nice guy. On table 1, you've got a Stormcast versus Skaven, and the Skaven are it's not looking good for them, if I'm honest. The Skaven are pretty much all dead, and the Stormcast still have 2 Star Drakes and Croak set on a Balewind Vortex. Because apparently, if you're playing any Order army, you might as well take Croak if you can. So, that's going to be a neat fucking thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not going to get old real quick. I'll be honest with you, by the time it's come around to have it, like, points adjusted or even, like, looked at rules-wise, it will be the first time we'll have to... But no, we've avoided it. I think we've avoided it, like at real tournaments.
Exactly.
This isn't a real one. It's as real it can be.
No, it's not.
It is. I feel like an old... You know, when someone's like an old person's like, wait, you're just playing them games on the computer? Ugh, we can do something real. I'm like, okay.
To be fair, all I want to see people doing is flipping the table. That's all I want.
I've hidden the option from myself, so I can't do it. So.
Please do it in a minute. Just flip the table. Fuck it. It'll be fine. On table 2, you've got Khorne versus Big War. That's Owen Jackson's Khorne. And he's killed the Rogue Idol. The Rogue Idol has gone down. It did take 3 Bloodthirsters to do it, though. So we had to charge 3 Bloodthirsters into a Rogue Idol and definitely did kill him by quite a lot. And now they're just having a massive scrap in the middle, and it's looking pretty even on both sides, to be honest. So that it's looking good. They're on turn 3 now, so should be wrapping up relatively soon. Table 5 is the Orcs versus Orcs. Aurochs versus Aurochs. They're still just fucking punching each other, to be honest. They're literally just sat there just going, right, now you fuck off. And then the other guy's going, oh, geez, what's going on? So, yeah, that's going well. Table 6, you got the Deepkin versus the Trees. The Deepkin hit turn 3 and just went balls out and have absolutely just ran into the Sylvaneth. If the Sylvaneth can survive, they might be okay. But let's be honest, it's Sylvaneth, so probably not. Table 7, the Deepkin are down on points, but they're going into their turn 3, so if they can do enough damage, they might be able to take their game back. I think that's the Table 7 is it's an interesting Deepkin list. It's eels, but they're defensive eels.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
The one that we saw. Yeah, it's quite interesting actually.
It's there's the guy that it's a different list. So I had another Deepkin player join yesterday when we had a dropout, and he's taken the Achillean Corpse Battalion, so the eels and the turtle.
Oh, that's real. That's how you know it's real.
Yeah, it should be all right. Depends, to be honest, because he's just castled up, because you can with that sort of list. So he's castled up in the middle and trying basically not to die. Table 8, you've got cities versus Kharadron Overlords. And they're literally just dancing around each other, shooting the shit out of each other, trying not to get into combat, which is quite funny. So they're literally just running around going, no, you die. And that's quite interesting. They had quite a cool ruling with the... so I had to jump into that game for a TO ruling that I had no fucking idea about myself. So basically, he's got a gyrocopter with a steam gun, shooting at the Arcanauts in a ship. So do you roll for all the Arcanauts in the ship or not? Because they're not on the board, so how can you measure if they're in range or not? Or if all the models are in range?
Well, you can't, because you can't pick them out, can you?
So you can pick, because you can shoot into them, so...
Well, they're all in there, aren't they? So if I would say if they're in the ship, they're in range.
Yeah, so I've ruled it that you can shoot all of them. But, yeah, that was a bit of a weird one.
Yeah, the garrisoned inside, that is actually super interesting. Also ask some other questions as well. If I'm garrisoned inside a building, let's say I put some Hecatos inside a building somehow. Not Hecatos, so some Mortek. Can I take the Hecatos out of the unit if I've got an ability to snipe a single model, if that makes sense? That's a
Let's
great
be honest, the garrisoning ruling is fucked and needs to be that.
Yeah, it is.
Table 12, that's the first... We just had that result, actually. Literally just been messaged it. The Seraphon have won against the Kharadron Overlords. The KO just couldn't do enough. He left Croak on 1 wound remaining in a shooting phase, and then just died. Table 13, you've got the Beast Claws versus the Legion of Chaos Ascendant. The Stonehorns are still alive, just loving life in the middle objective, not dying and killing any demon that comes near them. Table 14, you got the Slaves to Darkness. They've just been croaked. And Chameleon Skinked. Apparently Chameleon Skink's great. So they're just running around. The Slaves to Darkness guy, I think it's Mark Brooks, needs to get the double turn and pray because it's not going well. And yeah,
poor Mark.
that's about it. That's all I've got for you so far. So yeah,
that's great. No,
good.
thank you so much for the update as well. I definitely want to see that Legion of Chaos Ascendant list play probably next round. I think that'll be fun. Anyone who wants to see a Seraphon game, I wouldn't worry. We're definitely going to see Seraphon in the final game because they'll be winning.
Let's be honest, it's just going to be Seraphon, all having mirror matches, and who's going to fucking win. So
I'm looking forward to that though. But James, what's happened in this game so far? And thank you very much for that, Adam. Appreciate that loads.
So I think that there was some kind of unluck on those charges in the middle. So and then some really bad combat from the Karkadrak, so it hasn't. It did, I think, one Mortek Guard in all its attacks.
Wow. That's
Um,
actually really bad. Especially as he's got
however,
Marcus Sinesh, right? So he should be able to.
yeah,
So he should be making exploding sixes and everything.
yeah, he had a bad day. One Chariot died from being attacked back. 7 Mortek Guard went into it. 3 went into the Karkadrak and did a couple of wounds.
Okay.
The Chariot's not been able to do any damage to the Mortek Guard, but the Untamed Beast have pinned up the Crawler.
Again. This
Yeah,
crawler is for the 3rd time in a row.
yeah. So it's currently they've done the scoring, so it's currently 12-4.
Oh, wow. So, yeah, 12-4 for Safe to Darkness in Battle Round 3. And they went first. So, with OCR Bone Reapers to go, they're going to be putting some of those Mortek back, which we've just seen them do, and they've snaken around the Karkadrak. So the Karkadrak is not long for this world, unfortunately. He's got it's a bit of a death knell for him. But they, as we talked about, 12-4. That's a big points lead. Now, in this turn, Benji could really pull it back here. He could take this... oh, no, he can't, actually. I was going to say he could take this bottom objective, but there's all those pink horrors. He can't do that. Why is Catacross? Catacross has done nothing. He's been a 600-point marauding,
He's brought
killing...
back 6 Mortek Guard all game.
But he has also been killing marauders all game, but he hasn't done enough, right?
No, he's done nothing. I mean, I can't remember how many points he is, but
Say that again.
I can't remember how many points he is.
Oh, it's like 500, 480,
But yeah, he's
4,
not done a lot for his points.
Yeah. So we'll count as hitting the whole unit. Yeah, so just talking about the garrison rule in the chat, you measure if you're measuring to the range of a unit in the building, you just measure to the building. So it probably is fair that if you can even touch the building, then you're hitting everyone inside the unit, which is quite cool. Like it's
Filling
nice,
a room
easy
with
answer.
steam, right?
Yeah. The biggest problem is I don't think it's clearly defined necessarily in rules, but maybe it is. But you know, they've introduced garrison in a little bit without really understanding. They haven't, I don't think, talked about it clearly enough with all of the permutations. But hopefully we'll see some clarity in the future. And and like Darren said in the chat, good call for what it's worth by Adam for making it. So big love to him. One angel. Okay, so in this turn, what can the Bone Reapers do here to win? That's the question. They need to push out. So what they could do, if they wanted to, in this here with this unit, is move as much as they can, get a big charge off, and then drop a model onto that objective. That'll give them a big 3 points here. They've got the center objective and they've got the back objective, and that isn't a bad place to be. Then with that snaked out Mortek Guard unit, they could maybe consolidate the center. They probably can never get this, but they could probably get this turn 3 of having those 4, and they could have turn 4 and turn 5. So they might be able to bring it back if that's what they do. Don't think that's what we're going to see him do. Oh, no. Oh, God.
Where's he going?
It's the wrong way. It's where he's going. Let's bring it back. Come on, Benji. I believe in you. That's the wrong way. What you want to do is use all your movement to go this way, and then you want to use charge. So you just put one model there. You just put any model there, and you score the objective. That's what you want to do. That's the play. If I can encourage anyone in the world to just play with your dwarf army, find yourself a dwarf army, and you'll learn very quickly that the charge phase is your bonus movement phase.
the phase where you can actually make a movement.
Yeah, well, you're only 12. You're tripling the movement of your unit when you charge. But even an average of 7 should get you pretty close, to be honest. Come on, Benji, that was the right play. Just rewind. Just do the reset. So, unfortunately, that's not what he's going to do. And instead, he's going to try and destroy everything in the center. And then I guess maybe eventually move to there. But
Those Death Riders may be trying to get round the back to get to the other one.
yes. Okay. So, why? I guess you can put them there. You still don't outnumber the pinks, though, right? If you wanted to do something with the Death Riders, like if you thought you needed more output in the center, you could have just come over with the Death Riders and hit them in.
Yeah.
That would have been a call, I guess.
I don't know if he needs more.
No, I don't think he does either. Like, maybe what he's going to aim to do is get those crawlers, or that one crawler that's still not locked in combat. Also, you would free up Catacross. Like, you could have sent Catacross into the center. If you'd have sent the Mortek this way, and then on their little mission down to the objective, you could have sent Catacross into the center to do some damage. You could have sent your crawlers firing into the pinks, or, you know, that would have been your way of getting... you don't... I mean, Catacross doesn't need to fight untamed beasts. I guess he is. He's too good. Yeah.
He's just ready to charge him.
Yeah. But we're just waiting to see what the result of this is going to be. Everyone in the chat seems to think that the garrison stuff is pretty clear. So if everyone seems happy with that, that's good. I'm glad. If everyone is happy with it.
Okay, so the other crawlers shot all the other untamed beasts off the board, which I guess then frees up the other crawler.
Oh, what? So this crawler shot that crawler's dudes?
Yeah, so it shot the untamed beasts off it. Now the other crawler's going to shoot.
So then why was Catacross there?
God knows. So the other crawler's now shooting the pigs.
Oh my god. I guess that means the crawlers now are unencumbered for the rest of the game. They're going to be firing all game. So maybe, you know, if this turn he does well into the pinks, and then the next turn he does well into the pinks, you might actually see these two Death Riders come into play. And so he's looking to Yahtzee the whole game, right? He's looking to crush the army and then go for a big score turns 4 and 5. So I guess at this stage, Slaves to Darkness are just holding on. But they do have 12 points to 4. In this turn, they're going to score that center objective. It's going to be 12 points to 8. So it is going to be a 4-point swing with 2 turns left. So it is quite close.
So he got 3 shots through on the pinks with the crawler, and he made 2 saves.
Oh
so
no! What, the 6-up saves?
Yeah, he made 2 6s.
That's outrageous behaviour.
There's now going to be a whole load of blues.
Yes, there is going to be a whole load of blues. I wonder where he might put those blues, actually. Oh, so he has to put them in an inch. Oh, look at them.
Yeah.
God, Blue Horrors. You got this, babies. Okay, fair enough. That's some pretty good saves. That's really fun.
Yeah.
Does that deserve a sound? This is how Benji's feeling right now.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Maybe we should bring these to actual tournaments. What do you think?
Maybe we should just have it on a tannoy to annoy the entire event. Like if some idiot turned up with a bugle, right?
That was you. You specifically brought it with a bugle. Right, so the other unit, as you can see, of Mortek have charged in. So it looks like it's probably... Safe Starters are going to lose most of their units right now. They're going to lose all 3 chariots, I think.
Yeah.
The Karkadrak. So that's actually pretty massive. So this is pretty wild. And then if he gets the priority, he only has to get onto these objectives here and here. And he's just Yahtzee. He's just scoring huge points on the board. So it might genuinely go Ossiarch Bone Reaper's way in this situation. Big shout, Benji.
Yeah. I still don't understand why that Darkfire Demon Rift didn't get moved.
Me either. Maybe they just don't think it's going to be a part of the game anymore. They just don't want to.
I think it would have hit. But last turn, I think it would have hit the back of that Mortek guard. So even like a couple more mortal wounds would have got in that center objective if he'd taken them off wrong.
Oh yeah, good point. Yeah, it's a shame it didn't happen. There we go. I think the Ossiarchs have this now.
I think so. I mean, it's going to depend on these rolls in the middle. But yeah, I don't know how. So 4, so he can get 8 points a turn, can't he? I guess the only difference is, does it can he get to all of those objectives?
Yes. Well, I think that's the big point. How many relentless discipline points he gets, because he can use those to move an extra 3 inches. But
Yeah.
even then, even if the Karkadrak stays alive for one more turn, that's going to be really important, I think.
Got a nice little line on the board so we can see the split.
Yeah, faces in the chat is like boo, boo, but it's still been really cool to watch the chariots go in. Like almost deleting that mortar unit was so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. That was funny to watch. If you think this is boo, you can't wait to watch Seraphon gameplay.
Yeah.
I think we should start drinking before we do that coverage, to be honest. And
Let's
maybe
all
even
drink.
well, yeah, and maybe just get
Let's
in the
drink
chat.
every time Craig casts a spell.
Yeah, shot. Every time Croak casts a spell, shot. Every time we see 10 more skinks summoned, shot. What a shame if OBR wins after that cool turn 1. I think, to be honest, it shows the resilience of that OBR army. It's why they've got such a high win rate. It's why they are the way that they are. But then also Ellis didn't need to necessarily engage in this centre objective, which is where he's now been pincing in by. He had the movement with those chariots to go around the side, hit this unit of Mortek, which is now fighting him. But instead he decided to punch through into the centre, which I understand. He could have just given the centre for a couple of turns, moved the pinks off like we talked about, gone around the back. But that's with hindsight. Let's be honest, that mortal wound save, so the Empower Netherite shields going onto this unit of Bone Reapers was really, really key for the OCR Bone Reapers. And if he'd have put the mortal wound, because he did loads of mortal wounds, right? But he had a 5-up save against them all, so he was making loads of saves.
So they're hitting a -2 rend, those little.
Yeah. Do you know that they're battle line units that already have a Rend 1 anyway, and have a 3-up armor save?
Lovely. They're just such an offensive army. They're such an offensive army.
Yeah, I know they're horrible, but look at if you look at them in the eye, as soon as you look at them in the eye, this is how you feel. Let me just get a shot of them in the eyes. Everyone in this Twitch chat, this is how you feel. You look at them and you just think, that's what you think. Creepy. Or you feel like they're one of these.
Maybe that's what happens if one blows you a kiss while you're staring him in the eye.
Yeah. Stinky Steve in the chat says he is going to do the drinking game with us later, the Seraphon drinking game. We'll try to invent that halfway through the show as we go. It's quite fun just doing this from home, by the way, James. Like, you're just chilling.
I'm just chilling in some scruffs, thinking about my lunch. I was prepared yesterday. I brought myself some posh lunch.
Nice, fancy.
Yeah. Normally I eat whatever food's getting turned out by an event. Today I have a quiche.
Yeah, listen. Normally it varies between phenomenal and I'd rather not. But we do
phenomenal or a bowl of hummus. I think we have one.
Yeah, the bowl of hummus is the best. So it's super involved when you do live coverage. Everyone at home. Obviously, we've been here for a few hours now doing this game. Normally, we get a very small break, and then we have to find food at the venue we're at. But today, we're all in our pants. So
there's also that weird thing. So today, normally there's a couple of points where we might manage to sneak off or run away or go to the bathroom. Not managed that yet. So just sat here for three hours. And they're long games. They are long games today. So
they are long games.
Longer than normal because tabletop simulator is slower in theory.
Yeah, but also what was I going to say to you? The other thing, of course, not to gripe because I love doing it. It's phenomenal in all the ways. But I think we've generally established this has been a really exciting game. But we've generally established that doing multi-table coverage is more dynamic for the viewers. I think.
Yep.
So we could potentially attempt that next next round. I'm a little bit scared, but I think we could try it if you want to try it with me.
Yeah, I think it'll be that hilarity while viewers watch us try and put a password against the name. Oh, you know what we could do? Actually, I've got a plan for that, but we can talk about that off air in a minute.
Yeah. Okay, we'll do that. Azrak,
No, I have a way it works, I think.
Okay, good. We'll give it a try. We'll do this. It's really fun. So big combat's in the centre there, as you can see. But yeah, I feel multi-table coverage is just more dynamic because you get. I know that a lot of people want to see the dice rolls. Like right now, Benji's rolling some dice for his Mortec attacking. Yeah, and some people are super into that. But I think the good thing about live coverage is you talk about the dynamics of the choices, like what's happened and where people can move, how things work. That for me is the interesting element. A little bit more so than he's rolled 3 threes. But it still works really well, right? You can see decisions being made, choices that could have been made. You saw some poor screening done by Benji, so you could talk about that. That's interesting. You've seen some like the survival of that one Hekatos. That was quite key. It's just there's loads to learn. It's really fun.
I think it's interesting to see as well, isn't it? It's interesting to see the game almost played in a completely different way.
Especially to the way that you think you would play the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
It's interesting that those Death Riders didn't charge, so I guess the idea is that they are actually going for that back left objective.
Well, so it's what was I going to say? It's he could have done. He hit with everything then, right? So he could have potentially done 15 damage, which would have been a battle shock on those pink horrors at 5 plus a d6. So that would have really made a big impact. So those 2 big 6-up saves were huge. But I think he's just waiting. I think he's just waiting to capture that objective, to be honest. So we've seen 1 unit of Mortec Guard attack. Is that correct?
I think all the Mortec Guard have fought.
Wow. Okay, so the chariots are still alive. That's actually really important because those chariots could just flee if they wanted to, get out of the fight, I guess.
So they just. I think it's that interesting thing, isn't it? He'd done that center objective with his own piece of terrain on, which made Ellis's attack really hard and his charge was really hard, but it's also scuppered himself really. So I just don't think he could get in. So he managed to take that one chariot out, but that's it.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I mean,
absolutely.
The chariots are killing nothing, but
no, nothing. If they had run and charge, that would be sweet, because they could be doing that all game.
Okay, so priority roll is going to be coming.
Oh, okay, so it's gone up to 12-8. 12 to the Slaves of Darkness, 8 to OCR Bone Reapers. It's going to be
a 3.
3 for
Here
the
we
Bone
go.
Reapers.
Oh!
A 1 for the Slaves to Darkness. Very close. OMG.
And this Darkfire Demon Rift still hasn't moved.
Say that again?
The Darkfire Demon Rift still just out there.
Yeah, you should highlight it. Darkfire Demon Rift, move it. Move it! So that should move. If you guys aren't aware, during...
AK.
Once a battle round has happened, all endless spells are moved with whoever is going first in the battle round getting to move the endless spell second. So if you're going second in the battle round, you get to move the first endless spell, and then you repeat that. So you go, it's just moving out of the way. So Ocean Bone Reapers are going to get the turn. That looks like it's going to be a really tough spot, because no matter what happens, they're going to score 4 points this turn here. Because of everything that's happening in the centre. If those 2 crawlers shoot off the pink horrors, then those 2 Kavalos Death Riders can score that. Then that means they're going to get a bonus 2 points. So either way, the score is going to be drawn at the end of this turn, but probably with nothing left on the board to score. Unfortunately, the Slaves of Darkness are not going to pick it. But it's been a really interesting game watching those units play. I found the output. Seen 1 mortal wound picked off from the Bowtad Nexus has taken out the Karkadrak. What a poor way to kill him. I'm unhappy about that.
How mean?
How mean. I'm not. I'm sad. Is how I feel. I'm just gonna give one of these. Don't know if the sounds are helping, by the way, but I feel like they might be.
If you want to use that sound effect again, I've got an update on the mammoths.
Oh, yeah, please do. What's happened with the mammoths?
It's it's not going well. Yeah.
One of those as well. What happened?
So, obviously, one of the mammoths is already dead, so he's only got 2 mammoths left. And the Bone Reapers are just regenerating to fuck. So he's managed to kill loads of the Bone Reapers, and they've pretty much all come back and are now killing the other 2 mammoths that are left. While everything else from the Bone Reaper army has also just walked over and taken all the objectives. So, yeah, it's not great.
Wow. Okay. Well, lots. That's yeah. Well, and that's sad because I wanted to. What of the matches that we've got coming up? What do we think are exciting? Is the Kadai Fireborn list winning the Legion of Chaos Ascendant list with Be'lakor?
I've got no idea.
Oh, that's the one. That's the one I want to check out next.
I should probably actually.
I think Antu's running it. Right, are you just watching the mammoths run across the board?
Yeah, pretty much. I've just been watching mammoths for the last half an hour.
Are the mammoth models in TTS nice, or are they just cardboard cutouts?
He's using the mummer kills from Lord of the Rings.
All right, that'll do. Yeah, that works.
So, it works fine. It looks fucking cool. And I've just been eating brownies and watching mammoths. It's been great.
How was lockdown? One of the best experiences of my life, actually.
Honestly, I'm loving it.
Good.
I've got a can of Thatchers, I've got my brownies, and I'm watching mammoths. Life is good.
Life is so good. I think we're about to watch a lot of... have you watched some elements of this game? How upsetting is what's happening in the centre right now? Those chariots, they had our hopes and dreams riding on their backs. I still think
if I'm honest, I just think he needs to play better. Just get good, right?
Look at the blue scribes just sat in that back corner.
Oh yeah, they're there, aren't they? Yeah, we haven't.
He could just walk forward.
He could. I think we're going to see those crawlers slam into those pink horrors in a moment, with potentially 30 wounds coming out of those. Oh no, he's measuring to the. Why is he? Don't measure to the blue horrors will not win you. Just kill the pinks.
No, the blue horrors will win. Everything is all on the blue horrors.
Go again on the blue.
Chris says he'd like to see the Greywater fastness list. That's actually a good point. Yeah,
the Greywater fastness list.
How are they doing?
Hang on. Quick chat. Give me a list of games that you want to quickly see, and I'll run to them and get back in 5 minutes.
Run.
I've got this.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm pretending that I'm at a real tournament.
Greywater fastness. I'd like to see how they're doing because that's a cool list,
okay.
And also the Legion of Chaos Ascendant with the Kadai.
Okay, and apparently the Saurus Knight, so I'm going to ignore that comment because no.
Yeah, correct. Screw you, Andy Dunn.
Okay, I'm going to go. I'll be back in 5 minutes.
Yeah, okay, sweet. Thank you. He's running.
I'm fucking going, mate. I'm off.
I want him to come back out of breath. So what we've just seen, James, we've seen some Mortek crawlers shooting into the pink horrors, yes?
Yeah. And some poor horrors losing their friends.
There we go. So interesting little side note there. As you can see, there's only one left. You're wondering why. They've got a 6+ DPR, the pink horrors. So he will have taken 5 damage, but he would have rolled a 6 up and kept, most importantly, the icon. So on that battle shock test, on a roll of a 1 means he's going to generate D6 slain models back, which you would always do pink horrors. So he's going to want to keep that pink horror alive, but they've got another crawler coming in, right, to do the shooting. I think there's about 24 people at the tournament, Reverend Dangles. So it's obviously not huge, but in Corona times, it's pretty big.
I think slightly more. There's 15 tables, right?
Is there? I thought there were 12. But
yeah,
15
tables, I think.
So 30 players. So it's quite cool. And we have enjoyed doing the coverage. We're going to have to do, as a crew, this is our first time doing it, we're going to have a conversation about we do coverage better for it in the future. But so far, really enjoying it. doesn't feel too different apart from the background noise and all the other elements that we have to affect us.
The Blues are getting decimated.
Yeah, the battle shocks is what's going to kill them. So it's another. So how much? Do you know how many came through there?
1, 2, 3, 9.
To be honest, it's quite hard to see clearly on the iPhone, says Jack. Okay. What the models? Is it hard to see? Like, question: does people prefer this top-down view? Classic, honest wargamer at this stage. Well, I guess it's just classic coverage. That seems to make the most sense. I guess I've had it in a kind of like angled view. I
think the problem is because some of the models are 2D pieces of paper, aren't they? Basically, the top down you kind of lose what they are, so you can see the bases, but it is harder, I think.
Yeah,
so I'm in a slightly top down, slightly diagonal.
Yeah, it's quite. Yeah, I'm interested. I think I quite like this angle. Would be fun to do at a tourney, like a 45-degree angle. But then that's where someone's eyes are, so you can't never get a camera at that angle.
Yeah. So there's 14 damage went through on the horrors. So they're going to do a battle shock, so a D6 plus 4, aren't they?
Yes. So these guys, they also could also go score this objective in the next turn, which they need to avoid happening. But as you can see, this Mortec unit, which has grown some more in the hero phase, has locked in these blues, or the blues more importantly have got into those. So those are definitely in a fight here. So they're going to be engaged. Depends on not whether what he's going to do is he's going to put more brims this side and then use the brims to run away. I mean, if he battle shocks off, he can just battle shock that bit off out of combat and then go run because he has got the turn next. And scoring points at this stage is all he really can do. And not forgetting those blue scribes. Those blue scribes could win the game somehow. Somewhere.
I think so. If those blues manage to hold that objective this turn, so he's set up those Mortec to pile in, hasn't he, to those blues? But I feel like if those blues hold this turn, then he might be able to hold the game still. So it'd be 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12.
It's going to be 12. It's going to be 12-12. It's going to be 12-12 going into the end of turn 4. But then in this turn, it's going to be another point. This bottom left-hand objective is going to go to Slaves to Darkness. The bottom right-hand objective could go to Slaves to Darkness as well. So that would be 2. And the top one as well could also... It's very close. It's very close. It's going to come down to points. But the priority roll has to go to Slaves to Darkness going into turn 5 just so he can cap points. Oh, there's one chariot gone. One chariot is out. The next chariot is getting very loose on numbers at this point. Those poor chariots. But he's inspired me. This list, I mean, we talked about this list on the show many a while ago, doing these impact hits from the chariots, and they're super funky, and they're really cheap. And how much fun would you have modelling 8 different gangster chariots, right?
Such a cool model too, the chariot.
Yeah, you could make them really dynamic. Oh, okay. The updates.
I've been running around. I'm not gonna lie, it was real hard work. I had to go to the fridge as well to get another can of Thatcher's, so that was just fucking effort, you know.
Good.
So the Grey Water Fastest list first. It's not gone well.
Oh.
It's bad times. I was chatting to the guys, and apparently it's Grey Water Fastness versus Caradron Overlords, and apparently the Caradron Overlords is probably his worst matchup. And yeah, the Grey Water Fastness has been shot to pieces, and there's fuck all left. So yeah, that's not gone well. For the Kadai, they're doing pretty well. I'm pretty sure when I checked, all 12 of them were still alive, and he's up against the Pask with his Stonehorns, and both of the Stonehorns are now dead.
Wow.
So both Frostlords on Stonehorns that were on the middle objective are both gone. So yeah, it's now not looking good. At the start, it looked like it was going to be a win for the Stonehorns, but now it's not great.
Oh, okay, interesting. So I think so Greywater Fasteners having dropped the game. Unfortunately, I think I'm looking forward to seeing that Legion of Chaos Ascendant list. I'd also like to show a Seraphon list as well because effectively today, because we haven't really in the competitive like live streaming scene really had that conversation yet. Watched them in action. I know some people have played these games on Tabletop Simulator. Some people have played these games at home. But I think watching those, it's a bit like watching KO play. I think you can't really visualize KO playing until you watch them play. They're a super dynamic army and really, really fun to see. But I would very much like to see a Seraphon game as well. And
I played a couple of games against Seraphon, and they're actually really fun to play against. It sounds really weird, but they're so interesting with how they work. It's quite cool.
Yeah, and they are the new paradigm that you need to adjust to.
Also, I nearly beat them with Stonehorns, so he's the real winner.
You're the real winner. We've seen another chariot die. We're just talking about over on Facebook. Ken Chambers just talked about the deployment of those blues and brimstone horrors. So we'll have a conversation about that because it's a really good point for the way they blow up basically. So each time an iridescent horror or a pink horror model from a friendly unit with this ability is slain, you can add 2 blue horror models to that unit. After removing the slain model, each blue horror model from a unit with this ability slain can add 1 to the brimstone horrors models in that unit after removing the same model, right? Anyway, so that's the way it works. But the setup is you set up the additional models one at a time within 1 inch of the position of the slain model that was occupied. The additional models can only be set up within 3 inches of an enemy unit if the position of that same model had been occupied. So basically, if they're in combat, you cannot set up additional models this way. So the point Ken's making in the chat is those brimstone horrors couldn't be where they are right now, which is a good point. They are they should more be basically bunched around here because there was no way that there was ever a blue horror up there within an inch. If that makes sense.
So there wasn't, but so the only thing is, and I didn't. So I think because of how they're working on Tabletop Simulator, so there was a whole bunch of pinks there at the beginning, and he's kind of just thrown them on in waves. So actually, the 2 blues could have come out of a pink within an inch, and then within an inch of that could have been a brim. So I don't think they'd be quite as high, but I think he could have probably got some movement that way because there were some pinks off that objective, kind of where my little pink pointer is at the minute. And I think maybe if you did die, I think he'd probably be just before the blue line. But I think he'd have got some movement. But I don't think it's going to matter anyway too much.
No, I don't think it's going to matter. But the point is, it's a good point. So don't use this as an example of how to put them out. And again, Tabletop Simulator not perfect. And to be honest, placing horrors is a nightmare anyway because you have to take out the 1 model and put 2 models down within an inch. But realistically, from where the pink horrors are, the most you could ever get the brimstone horrors would be effectively base size plus 2 inches away. Is the maximum you can ever get something. So
I think he'd have got something to about the blue line. So I'd say that probably those top 2 are too far over.
Yeah, unfortunately, those are some of the ones we're seeing scored out.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there's 3 in, so or 4 in. So okay, he's okay.
Yeah, there you go. All right, but it's a good point, Ken, and it's also worth noting, and it's also worth discussing because as a Tzeentch player, I would like to be really liberal with my movement or redeployment of my horrors and brims, but it's just a super unfair advantage, and I'm not in any way saying that Ellis is doing that. That's not my point. I think it's more the Tabletop Simulator environment, but it's a good learning lesson for all of us to be aware of the rule for ourselves if you're playing them, or aware for the rule if you're playing your opponent. Which I think is important because it has allowed now in that turn, because there are 2 units left on the board. There's this horror unit which was summoned free, there's Darkfire Demon Rift, and there is that Blue Scribes unit there. So scoring this objective, so they're going to so as you can see, the score now at the end of turn 4, which is what this will be, is going to be 12-12 for the 2 teams.
No, because we haven't scored Ellis's turn 4.
Yes, sorry. It's 12-12 now is what I meant. And that's I said that wrong. And then in this turn, he's going to score 3 points for these, scoring these 2 here and here. So that's going to get him 3. So it's going to and he's going to score this bottom one. So he's adding 4 to his score. So he's getting 16.
I think if he wins the priority, he's probably won this.
Yes. If he gets the priority, he gets some big points because again, this bottom objective wasn't really ever pushed into or contested.
Here's the priority.
Oh
one.
no! It's a 1 and a 3. Oh
No,
no!
he's re-rolling it. It's a 3 anyway.
Okay, so the Mortec, the OCR Bone Reapers have got the turn.
No, I think they swapped their dice round.
Did they?
Yeah, the 3 is the slaves.
So Slaves to Darkness have won the turn.
Yeah, I think so.
Wow, so they're just going to do the same thing again. They're just going to stay on those
Well,
objectives.
Blue Scribe walked onto that objective, I guess.
Well, we'll see if is that the case. Are you sure?
I am. Yeah, so the Bone Reaper's phoning, rolling his command points, I think.
So 16 to 16 Slaves to Darkness, 12 to OCR Bone Reapers. Priority roll 1 by Slaves to Darkness. We're thinking.
Yeah, so he's just. Oh, okay, that's it. So that's basically his turn. He's just 20 points.
So that's 20 points. So this is turn 4, right? Or turn 5? Is this turn 4 or turn 5?
Turn 5, this is it.
This is
so
it.
he has to score every objective to win.
Okay.
Yeah, because then he'll win a minor.
Yes, he will win a minor. So so it's 20-12, 8 points, but there are 8 points available on the board.
Yeah.
He has to go and get. He has to take that unit onto that objective. He has to clear off this unit here, which is a bit difficult. He has still got the Kavalos Death Riders. Don't forget. So probably the right decision is going to be he's going to attack here, put these in, take them there. He grabs all the objective. That gets him 8 points. 6 here, 2 for the centre.
The Death Riders have got to come up, haven't they? The Mortec Guard have got to go up and into the brims. Yeah. Oh, he could just catapult the blues and the brims off, actually.
Or, yeah, well, he wants to make sure he gets the actual movement onto the objectives before he catapults anything off. But, yeah, I hear what you're saying. He needs to at least jump onto this objective.
Well, the move's not far, though. He'd get 1 Mortec Guard on that top
and the real
objective,
question is can he get that unit over there? He'll have to run them and use the command ability to get across. So it depends what that movement is on that OCR, on this Mortec Guard unit here. So base move 4, command abilities, that's going to be 7. And then he's going to need to run it and get onto that objective. That could be the game, depending on how far away that is. I don't know if I can measure. No, I'm not. I don't have. Have you got the ability to measure or not on there?
I probably have, but I've been trying really hard not to do.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Anything that gives advice.
Smart. Yeah. So this should be. Oh, he's moved the Death Riders there. Okay, that solves that. To be honest, but then he also has to get the. How's he going to get the? What?
Why would he do that? So those Mortec Guard are going up to attack from the top, so that makes sense. But the other bunches then got to go.
They've got to go quite far.
Oh, I don't know if he's even going to fight. I think he's just going to go cap at the top. This makes no sense to me.
Wait, hold on. Just hold on. Everyone hold on to your nellies. Yeah, just slow it down. We're going to see the right decision. There we go. So he's going to move him. So he's moved 7. He's just got to charge. So he's just got to make a 3-inch charge here. Don't make me use the sound. You might hear this sound. If he doesn't do it...
yeah, so he can't really... Yeah. So
to be fair, he might just...
can't shoot him.
Yeah, well, he definitely can't shoot the pink horror unit. Sorry, the blue horror unit. Like that's the mistake. Don't do that.
Yeah, well, he just takes them off the bottom objective and he loses. So he's
well, you
just
can't. You still have to put the Oh no, I've got these red dots on. Sorry, everyone. You still have to put the brimstone horrors.
Yeah, but they're doing like 20 something damage, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh, so he's using the back left one to shoot the blue scribe. just to upset him. Here we go. Wins on 3. Oh, did nothing.
Oh, did nothing. Did nothing. Maybe he's going for the Yahtzee. He's going for all of the kill.
Yeah, I think he was, but that blue scribe's going to live.
Okay, so we just saw an 8-inch charge. I don't know if that's from the top
11.
unit. It was.
So an 11?
Oh, an 11-inch charge. Yeah, sorry. That's maths. Quick maths. So they're all in. and they're
He
fighting.
didn't do that Dark Fire Demon Rift again. He could have blocked an objective. Oh, it's so painful. He could have literally blocked that charge.
I don't think he could have blocked it. He could have maybe changed. Its moves
Yeah, 'cause
12.
So it moves 12, so I reckon he could have got it on the other side of the brimstones, so they'd have had to have walked up and then made a big charge to get round. I mean, they rolled a big charge now in hindsight, but...
Yeah, that's a good point. Oh, here we go. Oh, I saw the one! I saw the one! And that is a minor win. There we go. That is a minor win for the OCR Bone Reapers. So
you gotta kill them, right?
There's the state of the board at the end of it. It's been pretty big point here to make and to take away is that there's still only one unit been lost by the Bone Reapers in this game. One unit. I mean,
he might have lost Caracross if he actually moved all game.
Clerk, thank you very much for pointing out something that I had forgotten. With the banner on the OCR Bone Reapers, you get +1 to charge.
Okay.
Big shout out to you, Clerk. You legend. You sexy angel.
Just what they needed was more rules.
Anyway, so it's 20-0. No, 20-20 on the final score on the objective points. They've still got their secondary cards that they're using as well. Wait, is the Demon Rift not a predatory endless spell? Are you sure?
Yeah, it is.
Definitely isn't it? I'll just double check though. Let's go find out. Dark Fire, Demon Rift, Castlevania 6.
Dark Fire Demon Rift, blah 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 blah. Oh, maybe it's not.
Maybe it's not.
Dark Fire Demon Rift.
Castlevania. Does it say predatory? Oh no, it does at the bottom. No, it doesn't.
No?
It's not a predatory endless spell. What?
After this model has moved.
I'd want the number. Oh my god.
No,
I'm going to go see if that's in the FAQ. I'm going to find out. Right. That feels like that's something that should be in Predator as well. Maybe it's not. Maybe it just stands there.
it's a giant mouth blowing fire, right?
Yeah, but maybe it's not. Well, what an exciting game. 2020. Really tough matchup for the OCR, for the Saves Darkness anyway. But what a fun turn we saw them go in. Not playing it quite as gung-ho as we thought. We thought we saw all 8 chariots just slam into the front lines turn 1. But we didn't see that. But still a really interesting matchup, I think. And a really good example of what a fun... at the end of the day, Benji's list is like a top-tier tournament sort of like list, right? Catacross, Crawlers, Mortek Guard.
Yep.
Crazy win rate on the Ozark Bone Reapers anyway. So just that was very fun. It'd be interesting to see how they fare later on against the Seraphon. Definitely says predatory. Thanks very much. I just didn't read it then. I don't know why. Anyway, great game. Loved it. It was really fun. James, thanks for helping me with the coverage this game. And we will be back in
I've got a quick cheeky update if you quickly
want.
I
would love to hear it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
The mammoths. The mammoths have lost.
What?
Yeah. They've just lost. They just got the result, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit sad. I'm not very happy.
Hit myself in the background.
Fucking bullshit.
Yeah, that is upsetting. Not happy
Just
about
gonna
that.
cry a little bit.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Getting quite a few results in now. So I should probably check what I actually fucking wrote, really, shouldn't I? Jesus Christ. On table 1, the Skaven lost, so the Stormcast Eternals did take the win on that game. Table 2, you've got Owen Jackson versus the Uruks, and they're still just having a fucking scrap in the middle. They're just running around each other, scrapping and loving life. Table 4, I can't remember what I said was going to happen on that game. I think something was going on. I don't know. Table 5 was the Uruks versus Uruks, and Steve's Uruks got the priority role and have managed just to absolutely nuke other Uruks. So that's fun. They're literally just scrapping in the middle. Table 6 is the Sylvaneth versus the Deepkin, and the Sylvaneth, would you guess, have lost?
No.
Yeah,
What, even with the swords?
they didn't take swords. That's a different list. Jeez,
Oh my
learn your
God.
lists, mate. Christ. But yeah, yeah, the Sylvaneth have lost. The Deepkin just won. They won in turn 2, and it just didn't go well. Just nuked the Sylvaneth, and yeah, it's not going okay. Table 7 was more Deepkin versus Legion of Chaos Ascendant, and it's the Deepkin are Dan Deepkin are winning on objective points right now, but he's got fuck all left of his army, so that's probably not going to go very well. Table 8 was the Greywater Fastness. I think that was table 8. And they're pretty much lost the game. They're just sort of wrapping up now. Table 9 something was the Deepkin versus something else. I can't remember. But the Deepkin it's looking quite close, but they're struggling with time. So fingers crossed they'll finish in the 20 minutes remaining. Table 10 they were chatting, so I didn't want to interrupt their game. Table 12 was the Seraphon. I've already said about that one. So the Seraphon won that game. Table 13 is the Legion of Chaos Ascendant with the Kadai, and it looks like the Chaos Ascendant are going to win it, but it's still the Ogres might have a chance in the last turn, I think. So they should be wrapping up very soon. Table 14, Mark Brooks with his Legion of Chaos Chaos Ascendant have just lost against the Seraphon. And yeah, table 15 was the Mammoths, and unfortunately the Ossiite Bone Reapers beat them.
Oh, really? Oh.
So
Okay.
yeah, unfortunately, the Mammoths
Not
did
happy
lose.
about not
That's
happy
the big
about that
news.
at all.
And that's the only news I care about.
Yeah.
I've actually been ignoring people sending me results because I was watching the game, so I should probably
It was an exciting game. I'd love to hear what you guys have said in the chat. I know that there was some like some of the guys saying that the moving of the Untamed Beast at the start was maybe a bit of a mistake in not letting the chariots charge. I think that was a thing. Safe Darkness should have moved forward to block the OBR charge. Only need to swamp on one objective to do that. Maybe played a bit too fast, although played slower than I would have played maybe initially. So I think it's a really interesting match. I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of it. Adam, again, thank you so much for organising all of this.
That's all right.
It's been great. James, thank you for being my co-host for this show.
Pleasure.
Don't forget to join us. So it's 2:15, so 2:15 British Summer Time, so GMT is when we'll be next back up if you want to join us live. And Ellis in the chat. Oh, big love, Ellis. Says, Ellis here, I forgot to move my Untamed Beast at the start, which probably cost me the game. I still think you played a great game, bro. I think it was a great pivot, removing your units around. So it turned out that initial 6-inch move, you can see him there doing it on the screen right now, measuring out, he would have moved himself, as you guys can see, would have moved himself away here and let his chariots hit this, and take out that 40 Mortec, that other 20 Mortec as well. But still a great game. Loads to learn from that. It's been great. See you guys soon. Thanks very much. I'm just going to say goodbye. We'll stop the stream. Join us again soon, okay?